today's Grand Marshal, David Norman. Gentlemen, start your engine!
They started calling Bill Elliott $1 Million Bill back in '85 when he won the Winston Million right here at Darlington. A win today for Bill could be worth more than money could buy. He hasn't won since this race back in 1994. Today, he starts second. On the pole, it's Bobby Labonte. Like Elliott, a win would be worth more than $1 million in terms of prestige and momentum. A championship is not on their minds this year, but a top 10 finish in the points is not out of the question.
Hollywood couldn't have scripted this one any better. Row 2 finds a man with momentum. Dale Jarrett flanked with a man on a mission, Mark Martin. First, Jarrett. Nothing breeds winning better than winning. And Jarrett didn't just win here in the spring, he dominated. When you couple that effort with what happened last Saturday night at Bristol, and Jarrett gets the nod for momentum. Now the mission. Mark Martin's mission is to win a Winston Cup championship. He finds himself atop the points for the first time since October of 1990. He said no one is going to outwork, outfocus, or out-effort us in the pursuit of that goal.
Hey, only one guy in this field has a shot at the $1 million. And realistically, only 5 have a shot at the points championship. These other 38 guys are here for one reason, to try and win the Southern 500. In the last 2 races at this track, 2 different drivers, 2 sparkling second-place finishes. Hutch Strickland last year, Ted Musgrave this spring. The greatest names in NASCAR have been tortured by the Lady in Black, but occasionally she will smile at a driver. A fast, flirtatious smile. But it's probably just a tease. Is she offering fate or fantasy? Like most mystery women, it's often hard to tell.
And all these things, the Winston Million, all these things the drivers are going for, and folks, such a very tough racetrack they've got to do it on.
Benny, they don't call this track too tough to tame for nothing. It has bitten you, it's bitten me, it's bitten almost every driver who has run any amount of laps on this tough racetrack. You have to have total concentration every moment. And to add to that concentration level this year, they have flip-flopped the track. Going into turn 1, a single groove racetrack now, it used to be 3 and 4. And of course what used to be turns 1 and 2 is 3 and 4 and vice versa, and it keeps us all mixed up all day long, but that's going to add to their concentration level. And then pit stops.
Pit stops. You know, some of the drivers that pitted on the front stretch have never made a pit stop there. So getting in the pits, getting off the pits is going to be a problem for them.
ESPN, the world leader in motorsports, welcomes you live to a Labor Day weekend tradition for the past 47 years. The NASCAR Winston Cup, Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington, South Carolina. As we enter this 23rd race of the year, the separation between first and second in points is the closest in history, with Mark Martin on top of the points for the first time since 1990. 3 drivers in the top 10, Jeff Burton, Bobby Labonte, and Ted Musgrave, are the only ones who have not won on this storied old racetrack. Hi everyone, I'm Bob Jenkins. Let's sum it up just briefly before we go green. $1 million possible for Jeff Gordon, one of the closest points battles in history, plus a racetrack that these drivers have essentially never competed on. And while we're talking about potential winners, let me name a couple of more. Dale Earnhardt, a 9-time winner at this racetrack, and Jeff Burton, who has accumulated more points on tracks longer than 1 mile in length than anybody else in 1997. Jeff Burton drives a Ford here this afternoon, and as far as the breakdown is concerned, there are 20 Fords in today's field, 15 Chevys and 8 Pontiacs. Ford as the lead in the Manufacturers' Championship going into this event. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup. On the pole, Bobby Labonte, his second pole of 1997, and alongside Bill Elliott, first front row start since Phoenix in '95. The second row, Dale Jarrett won the spring race from the pole, and Mark Martin, the new points leader. The third row, Ken Schrader, fourth in last year's Southern 500, and Hutch Strickland, who was second in that race. Going to row number 4, it's Jeff Gordon. 3 missions today, the points, the million, and winning 3 straight. And Dick Trickle, who's finished 3rd last week, his best finish since 1990. The 5th row, Sterling Marlin, won Darlington win here in 95. And Ernie Irvin, whose first race in the 28 car was here in 1993. The next row, Brett Bodine, 2nd in the 93 Southern 500, and Jeff Bodine, who finished 3rd twice in 31 Darlington races. Then in the 7th row, we have Ward Burton, 8th Darlington race, and Michael Waltrip, one of his 4 7th place finishes, was here in the spring.
In row 8, we find Roush teammates Ted Musgrave, who finished 2nd in the spring, and Jeff Burton. In row 9 this afternoon is Terry Labonte and Johnny Benson. And Ned, as you look at the rest of the starting grid, the racetrack is the same, but yet it's not the same.
No, it's not the same because there are different numbers on the wall. And I think that will have a little bit of a mental effect. It'll take them a little while, even though they've been here for a couple of days in practice and of course, in qualifying. But they got to get all of that in coordination with their spotter because they might call the wrong turn at the wrong time. A lot of great drivers back in the field here today. And this is a tough racetrack to pass on, but if you got a good race car, you can do it.
We've heard Ray Evernham and Jeff Gordon say that it's just another race. You prepare for this race just like you did last weekend at Bristol. But is it, Benny?
No, it's not. This is the Mountain Dew Southern 500. There's the final row, Jeff Green and Lance Hooper.
And Rusty Wallace took a past champions provisional again, and we had 3 drivers that missed the field. Dave Marcus for the 5th straight time. Also Greg Sachs and Morgan Shepherd not in the field today.
Onboard cameras starting 43rd today, Rusty Wallace, the Miller Lite Ford. Also Mike Skinner, the MTD Chevrolet, starting in the 33rd position. The Budweiser car, Ricky Craven, he will have to start last on the field because he's in a backup car. Michael Walter, the Citgo car, starting 14th. Mark Martin, 13 points in front for the NASCAR Championship, starting 4th. And Dale Jarrett, the Ford Quality Care car, starting in 3rd spot.
And we will have an onboard camera with Jeff Gordon and a lot of extra coverage. The crowd is on its feet. Every seat is filled. The 48 Mountain Dew Southern 500 is under green. Slow down the backstretch.
He hit the wall coming up turn 2 in the very first lap. Got high in the groove and brushed the wall.
The first lap is complete, and Bobby Labonte has led his 8th race of 1997. And Earnhardt slow here on the main straightaway now as we go back to the racetrack and see Bill Elliott within a car length.
As Earnhardt went by our booth position here, you can see a good bit of damage to the right side of the Goodrich Chevrolet.
See Jeff Gordon back in 6th spot. It's Kenny Schrader left. Battle for the lead. Bill Elliott will take the lead coming off turn 2.
Bill Elliott, a 5-time winner here in Darlington, twice in the spring race, and he's won the Mountain Dew Southern 500 3 times, is in the lead now, and here comes Dale Jarrett challenging Bobby Labonte for the 2nd place, and Ted Musgrave and Jeff Burton, teammates for Jack Roush, move up past Michael Waltrip.
Here Labonte's going to try to follow because the position is on the inside, going down to turn 1. Labonte backs off, lets Michael Waltrip get down to the corner. So Michael, in a favorable return, lets Terry Labonte go by.
On board with Michael Waltrip. And Jeff Gordon is trying to take over the 6th position from Ken Schrader and does so.
That was the car he was trying to pass in practice yesterday, and they almost wrecked, but he gets by and cleaned it this time.
And the battle is for 2nd position now as Dale Jarrett and Bobby Labonte are going at it. Mark Martin watching from the 4th position.
Still riding around the apron of the racetrack slow.
fifth, and then back to Jeff Gordon. Jarrett was challenging for that second position. Oh, we got a crash up in turn number one. Bobby Hamilton is involved, so is Kyle Petty and Bobby Gordon.
And Rusty Wallace also has damage on the Miller Lite Ford. He's, I think, in the pits on the backstretch.
So the caution flag comes out for the first time today on lap number 7 as a 3 or 4 car crash in turn number 1 has slowed the field. There is the damage to Rusty Wallace, and you're right, Benny, pretty significant there on the right side.
And Todd Bodine, who's driving the Caterpillar car for David Green in relief of him this week, he comes down pit road also with some damage.
And Earnhardt also has his car on pit road.
You saw there Todd Bodine go behind the wall. Here's the replay.
And we see the 96 car blowing an engine, going in the corner, puts oil or moisture on the racetrack, and all these cars go in there with no place to go, hit that oil, almost like Dale Jarrett did last year, going for the million, Ned.
Similar type situation, same turn, different numbers on the turn this year.
Now let's listen and watch from the onboard of Rusty Wallace. Things occur.
How quick do they clear is right.
And when something like that happens in front of him, we see Earnhardt in the pits. Rusty Wallace right behind him with the hood up on his car. But there's nowhere to go when you hit an oil slick like that, except into the wall or another car.
Well, this accident occurred toward the back of the pack. Everybody up front, including Jeff Gordon, is okay. The 30 car of Benson is now on pit road also with the change of tires going on in that car.
Also a heavy chassis adjustment. Is Earnhardt okay? The driver. Let's set this up.
So Dale Earnhardt on pit road while Ray Evernham and the rest of the Rainbow Warriors are in good shape at the moment. Jeff running in the 6th position as the caution is over Darlington for the first time this afternoon in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. 9 laps completed here at Darlington, still under caution because of a crash up in the 1st and 2nd turns that involved several cars, but before that Dale Earnhardt crashed.
And Earnhardt, they're carrying him to the truck or someplace. We'll have to check this out.
He appears to have an oxygen mask. This is the onboard from Ricky Craven. We'll see if we can see what happened.
This is going down to turn 1. And we see Earnhardt up against the wall. There he hits the wall going in 1. He comes off. Now he's back in the middle of the racetrack, but now the car won't steer. So as he comes off turn 4, the car will not. I'm turn 2. I'm sorry, I'm turned around. John Kernan.
We're on the backstretch pitch outside of the care center where Dale Earnhardt has just been taken in. No one on the crew seems to know what's wrong, but when Dale hit the wall, he stayed out there, and on the radio he kept telling him, oh, I can't find my way onto pit road. Well, he finally came down onto pit road. They unhooked him, took him out of the car. He looks really shaken up. So they called for the doctor to come down. They have brought him to the care center. Now we understand they have sent for an ambulance, but right now Dale Earnhardt is in the infield care center being checked out.
That's his wife, Teresa, being led into the care center.
What a development here in the early going of this race, of all the stories that we have been anticipated to cover, and this certainly is not one of them.
And again, if I said this incorrectly, it was the very first lap, the first corner of the first lap, that he goes in and brushes the wall, and as he came off, he also hit the wall again up in turn 2.
Prior to today's race, Dale Earnhardt had completed 99.7% of the laps run in 1997, and he had not had a DNF all year. Green flag comes out, back to racing at Darlington as Bill Elliott leads them to the flag with Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, Mark Martin, and Strickland in 5th position. Jeff Gordon right behind him.
Rusty, what happened to the car?
They blew up going into turn one. Somebody did laid oil down everywhere, and we all hit it. Everybody crashed right behind him. It was just a real bad deal. I qualified bad, and when you qualify bad, that's what gets yourself into. But, man, the car was handling perfect. I was really happy with it.
Well, a short day for Rusty Wallace. He's heading back to the trailer to make the drive back home to Charlotte.
Back and watching action here involving the 22 of Ward Burton. Terry Labonte is right behind him, and then Jeremy Mayfield. And that's back in 15th, 16th, and 17th as you look at a Napa field summary with the numbers in parentheses indicating that driver's starting position. Not a great deal of movement here in the first 15 drivers. Here is Jeff Gordon challenging Mike Strickland for fifth.
Well, he challenged him all day long here last year for first.
It looked like last year's Mountain Dew Southern 500 for the lead late in the race. Hutch Strickland leading the race, and Jeff Gordon trying to take over the
Jeremy Mayfield got way up in the loose stuff up there on the high side, Benny.
very close to that wall up between turns 1 and 2.
Late Speed has made his pit stop and stop and go. He's coming out of the pits now. As the leader comes off turn 4, he'll be lucky to get up to speed and stay in the lead lap. I don't think he'll do it.
Terry Labonte, or rather Ricky Rudd, looking to the inside of Michael Waltrip. Here's another look at that incident with Jeremy Mayfield.
Goes in the corner, and this is a one-groove corner. They go in the corner side by side, almost make contact. Jeremy goes up the racetrack, close to the wall, but I don't think he did get a Darlington strike.
Well, he kept a good job from not getting that strike. Did a good job from keeping it out of the wall.
Ricky Rudd is running in 18th position. We're on board with Michael Waltrip, who is 17th.
And up front, Bill Elliott's just driving away.
He has checked out here in the early going. There's second and third, Bobby Labonte and Dale Jarrett. They're several car lengths behind the front runner. Back about 1 1/3 seconds. And behind Jarrett, we have Mark Martin.
And Jeff Gordon's going to get by Hutch Strickland and move into that 5th spot.
There's Gordon with $1 million riding on this race here today. If he wins, he collects the Winston bonus.
Well, I suspect he likes where he's at right now. Sort of sitting there, nobody close to him in front or behind. Got a good clean racetrack to run on there. That's a good position to be in, ride there for a while.
Jeff Gordon has a great talent for saving those tires, riding around there, saving those tires. And when everybody else's tires starts wearing and slowing down, his car maintains that same speed. Jerry Punch?
Yeah, that's exactly what Ray Abraham just said to Jeff Gordon. He said, Jeff, you got to think survival for 400 miles. All you want to do is survive for the first 400 miles, and then we'll go after them the final 100. But you're great exactly where you are.
Kyle Petty is in. Here's John Kernan.
Kyle Petty on the backstretch. He's gotten into somebody on that last wreck out there and hit both the nose under so that the front air dam was actually dragging the racetrack. So Kyle has come down pit road. He's lost several laps in already. But the team has fixed that damage. Now they're checking under the hood to see if there's anything else wrong with the car. But Kyle Petty sitting here on pit road and out of contention for now.
His best finish here at Darlington way back in 1991 in the spring race. He was in 6th position. The 99 car of Jeff Burton is on the move. Burton with an outstanding and impressive performance in the Busch Series race yesterday here at Darlington.
Sorry, Nate, go ahead.
He got a lot of positive experience there yesterday by winning that race. Got these turns implanted into his mind, coming right on through.
He's now in 9th position. Bill Weber.
Hey guys, that's exactly what Jeff Burton wanted to talk about yesterday afternoon. The experience and the great run that he had in the Busch race. Now, Mark Martin just got passed by Jeff Gordon as he continues his march toward the front. But the story on Burton is the fact that yesterday in happy hour, they had to chase this car a little bit. But the weather change from yesterday to today is considerable. He told his crew the car is good, trying to get around and does slide by Dick Trickle, but he's not sure how good it can be because of the change in the weather. They built that car specifically for Darlington. They brought it here and tested here. They are a team that definitely plans to win here.
Jeff Burton already up to 8th position. He started in 6th laps have been completed, and look at his advantage now on second place. And about 2.8 second lead for Bill Elliott, who won the Winston Million back in 1985, and the only driver who has ever done that. Welcome back to ESPN's live coverage of the Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. Jeff Gordon has taken over the third position. He's passed Bobby Labonte, who was passed by Dale Jarrett just a couple of laps ago while we were in break. So it's Elliott, Jarrett, Gordon, and Bobby Labonte.
Jarrett looks back at Jeff Gordon. This is down in turns 3 and 4. And this is Brando 9 being passed by Michael Waltrip and Jimmy Spencer.
Jimmy Spencer has really been on the move recently. He's moved up to 15th position already. Started back in 30th.
So he knocked half of them off.
Yep.
Last time by, Jeff Gordon was the fastest car in the top 6.
Here is Elliott completing lap number 30. Now we see that Gordon is within just 2 or 3 car lengths of Dale Jarrett. This is how Jarrett got second from Bobby Labonte.
Goes down in turns 1 and 2. Labonte drifts up. Jarrett turned the car, goes under him. Come off turn 2, takes the spot.
And now we will see Bill Elliott continuing to lead, a 3.8 second advantage on Dale Jarrett.
About Jeff Burton a moment ago, guys. He still continues to move towards the front. He's moved up to 6th.
And Jeff Burton that time was the fastest car in the top 6.
By quite a margin, as a matter of fact. He is almost 2 miles an hour faster than those running around him.
They're working on their 33rd lap right now. That's about halfway through a pit stop for what we expect to be somewhere between 60 and 70 laps. So that's a pretty good indication that his car is working well.
Let's see who's the fastest this time. At the line, Elliott with a 1:54.0. Here's Jimmy Spencer picking up another position. He could be one of the fastest cars out there, if not the.
It won't be that time because he passed the car. You see Jeff Burton, 1:55.5, and the leader 1:54.
Look at Jeff Burton, 155. He's passed his teammate Mark Martin now and has moved into 5th.
Do it again on the line.
Well, Elliott's slowing down from 1:54 down to 1:53 and no traffic. And Burton still over 156 miles per hour. So Jeff Burton, the Exide car, clearly right now the class in the top 10.
And rest assured, his spotter and pit crew are making him aware of that. They tell him to take care of those tires, and he says, I am. This thing feels so good.
So Jimmy Spencer was the second fastest lap. Our yellows now, arrows will indicate who was first, second, third. So you have to sort through all the numbers. And once again, Jimmy Spencer picks up another position from Michael Waltrip.
Goes into 10th.
He's increased 20 positions, and since the restart, he has gained 16. When he went back to green, he was in 26th position, and that was in 10th. There's Bill Elliott, the leader of the race.
And check this out. Jeff Burton has passed Jeff Gordon to take over that 4th spot. Rick, thought you Jeff got a problem?
Well, Benny, I think he does. He just radioed and said, hey, Ray, the car is loose. And Ray said, how bad is it? And Jeff said, Ray, it's all I can do to hang on. He said, the car has gotten really, really loose. Ray said, my friend, just back off. We'll get it fixed. You just got to back off now and try to hang on to it.
So the Rainbow Warriors may have some work cut out for themselves here to get that car back handling right.
We saw Jeff coming off the first corner to come down the start finish line, and the line he was taking indicated. And look at Jeff Burton, folks. He's caught Dale Jarrett trying to go by him. Contact.
A little contact in turn 2, and that allows Jeff Burton to take over the second position. As we said in the open of the show, Jeff Burton has accumulated more points on super speedways, that is, tracks bigger than 1 mile in length, than any other driver. And the AutoZone on-track interval will show you how he narrowed the margin from laps 31 to 35. It was 6.9 seconds on lap 31 and 5.5 on 35.
And look how consistent he is, from 31.4 seconds to 31.6 seconds for 5 laps in a row. That's what will get the job done here at Darlington.
His consistency, that's right, Ed.
Bill Elliott continues to set the pace here. The lead he has is a little over 4 seconds now, and so Bill Elliott, who in the last 6 races has climbed from 13th to 9th in the point standings, on his way to duplicating what he did here in 1985, winning the race, but only Jeff Gordon eligible for the Winston Million here this afternoon. Our coverage of the Mountain Dew Southern 500, a Labor Day tradition since 1950, continues here, and the coverage that you're now watching is overhead from the Pennzoil Copter Cam as we watch Bill Elliott lap Joe Nemechek in 37th position.
But check that 99 car right behind Nemechek. The difference now is just car lengths. It was seconds when we went to break. It is now car lengths as Nemechek moves over, and Burton just about 5 car lengths behind Bill Elliott.
Let's get an update on Dale Earnhardt as we talk with Richard Childress. Here's John Kernan.
Richard Childress has just come out of the infield care center where Dale Earnhardt is being examined. Richard, how is Dale?
Well, he's stable. He kind of started. I talked to him for just a minute. He was seeing double. He was a real groggy before the race started in his voice. We were going to try to get him in before the race ever started, and he didn't hear us. He couldn't communicate with us, and so we're going to go see, and that's all I can tell you at this time.
Will be transported to another hospital, right, for further evaluation.
They're transported to the hospital now, and that's where I'm headed.
And Mike Dillon getting in the car to run some laps the rest of this race, maybe?
I don't even know who's getting it. I'm worried about Dale.
As we all are. That sounds like a very strange situation, Ned.
Yes, it does, and certainly our prayers and best wishes will be with you.
Well, as you can see, Jeff Burton has taken the lead, and it's the first time he has ever led a Southern 500 in his 4th race.
And check, look at on Elliott's times on 18 laps, 24.4. You see 30.8. He goes down to 33.2. Look at the drop off. Ned talked about just a moment ago, saving those tires. And right now, on lap 4, Jeff Burton was running 1 second faster than Bill Elliott. At lap 18, they were running just 0.2 of a second apart.
Jerry has a report on Bill Elliott, now back in second.
I just talked with Mike Bean, with the crew chief, and he said, they came here last week and ran not 1 or 2 lap tests, but 50 lap tests. And in their 50 lap test, the car was very consistent. But what they learned was, after lap 40, the car really began to get loose and go away. So Bill, when he hit lap 40, is going to back off. The car's a little bit loose, but we're being very, very conservative. We got a good car. We're going to sit here and ride and bide our time. That's what testing taught Bill Elliott. Run hard to lap 40 and then ride and make the adjustments as they come. That's why he was passed a moment ago.
You saw Terry Labonte pass Ernie Irvan just a few minutes ago and move into 10th position.
And Ernie passed Sterling Marlin. So a lot of good racing going on back there in that pack.
46 car Wally Collins back in and out of the pit area.
So I get that just a moment ago, and I'm sure that the tires are getting to the point but they felt like they needed to come in and get fresh tires. But look at Jeff Burton still going, although now he's down to 151.5 miles per hour the last time by.
And just about everybody else is down in the 150 and 149 bracket.
There's Lake Speed, who stopped and penalized a moment ago. He's fast trying to get back front. He is a lap down.
The battle between the 4 car of Sterling Marlin and the 10 of Ricky Rudd is a battle, and it's for 12th.
And Rudd moves on the inside, takes his tide forward on the inside of the Kodak Chevrolet. Looks like he might have that position.
Indeed he does. And there's Ted Musgrave right behind now. Sterling Marlin fighting in the 14th position, and Musgrave goes to the inside and passes Sterling easily.
Well, I believe the handle has gone away on Sterling's car.
Ricky Rudd has had a good movement toward the front since the restart on lap number 12 when he was 19th, and now has moved up to the 12th position. So the winner of the Brickyard 400, in fact, he has won 2 races in 1997 and now is in 12th.
Ricky was very good in happy hour practice yesterday afternoon, Bob, and this track sort of suits his driving style. He's very smooth, and you got to be that way on this racetrack. He's also very patient.
See Jeff Burton back in the traffic trying to get by Dick Trimble, put him a lap down. Last time by just 148.6 miles per hour for Burton as he tries to wade his way through this traffic.
And Jimmy Spencer has moved up to 7th position. Bobby Labonte falling back here. Michael Walker passing on the outside.
Yeah, Bobby's car is not very good either right now. He would sure like an opportunity to come in the pits and get some new tires for that. Some adjustments.
Back has new tires on that car, and so he is going to be passing some cars out there, going pretty quickly.
Yeah, just boy, it feels like you've just traded in your old car and got a new one when you get those new tires on.
Jeff Burton has moved into some traffic again. That is Darrell Waltrip in the 17 car in celebration of his 25 years. They're painting the car to resemble other cars that he has driven, and of course, that is the old Mountain Dew paint scheme.
Inside, after the 99.
29th position. Jeff Burton goes around Darrell.
28 cars on the lead lap here at the conclusion of 54 circuits in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Jeff Burton is your leader, about a 2.5-second advantage on Bill Elliott, with Dale Jarrett running 3rd, Jeff Gordon 4th, and Mark Martin in 5th. We'll be right back. Jeff Burton leads the Mountain Dew Southern 500 with 58 laps completed. There is Jeff Gordon, who is in 4th position, only a little over 4 seconds behind the leader.
There's your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place cars.
Dale Jarrett in 3rd and Jeff Gordon in 4th. I would say that Jeff Gordon has more motor than the rest of them, but that's not the case because the object is to win the race.
He's been complaining about how the car is loose on him, and we, as an added bonus to our coverage here at the Mountain Dew Southern 500, have Ray Evernham, his crew chief, and Jeff Gordon Mike, so that we can hear the conversations between those two people to see if Jeff can get indeed the $1 million bonus. The NASCAR spotlight now is in reference to the NFL and the NHL spotlights that we have. Let's listen to that conversation.
All right, bud, you're running a pretty good clip there. Is the looseness all the way through or just exit?
Pretty much all the way through.
4.
Of the 99 inside, clear behind.
I'm doing all I can right now to hang on to it. 4. Be smooth, do the best you can. When we pay, we'll get you tightened up, bud. Doing okay, man. Pit stops will be 10 to 15 laps. Have me look at your temperatures again when you get a chance.
Is that Ray Evernham cool or what?
Boy, he is.
Calm. He said, we're okay. I mean, you're a little loose. When you come in, we'll fix the thing. Gives the driver all the confidence in the world that it will be fixed.
And those pit stops will be coming up here pretty soon, I think, Benny. Several cars have already pitted, including Bobby Labonte coming into the pits right now. Sterling Marlin's coming into the pits. Rick Mast is in the pits. So it is green flag pit stop time, Gary Punch.
All right, Bobby Labonte, he just complained to Jimmy Maycar that the car was loose getting in the corner, and in the middle of the corner it would not turn. The nip full of fuel. They spill some fuel. Left front, left rear tires going on. They pull the jack at the cold center. They're down and away. 22.4 seconds as Jeff Gordon heads on the pit road.
They felt like they couldn't wait any longer. He had to come in, get those 4 tires on, make that chassis adjustment. Now they're just praying no caution flag for the next few laps till all the other cars make their pit stop.
Here's Jerry.
Jeff Gordon's Rainbow Warriors go to work, and they put the handle in the right rear. They're going to work on the front bar and try to tighten the car. Gordon say to Ray Abraham, I'm doing all I can do to hang on. Great pit stop on the right side. They clean the grill. Jeff Gordon reported the water temperature was really getting up. Watch him. 18.2 seconds. Great pit stop. That's the kind of stop that can win you $1 million.
Wow, just outstanding work by the Rainbow Warriors as Gordon goes back out onto the racetrack.
And something we have to mention is about the rubber that accumulates on the grill of these cars and makes them overheat. They got to be sure. We see that guy running around with that grill of the 28 car. If they don't, they'll overheat as Musgrave comes in the pits.
And here, because of the consistency of the racetrack service, that plays a major part of the other racetrack.
Yeah, say more than most other racetracks.
And Musgrave's work on his car.
Bill Elliott's coming down to the race. There you see Bill coming into the picture. Jerry?
Well, I told you Bill Elliott's car had gotten a little bit loose at the last point. They're going to take the rubber out of the rear to put the right side tires on. Awesome Bill from Boston. Bill who won back in 1985. That's his last Winston Cup victory. He down here in September of 94, 3 years ago. Left side tires. They're going to put him down to the jack. They finally get the car jacked up. Left front going on. Left rear going on. And 24 evens we go to Bill Weber.
1 year ago, Dale Jarrett was going for $1 million. Today, he's going for 185 points. Right side tires, track bar adjustment on the quality care board. All around the left side, and they make a wedge adjustment on the left side. DJ gets his left side tires. Old one's off, new one's bolted on. Fuel is in. DJ's down. And Dale Jarrett is 17.6. Spencer's in occurrence there.
4 tire change for Jimmy Spencer here on the backstretch. Makes it 2 miles an hour. Take a piece of tape off the left side of the air in there. They want the candy change. Jimmy moving up the street in the field in the starting position into the top 5. A great run. He is down the way after a good pit stop. Let's go over to Dr. Jerry Punch.
55 miles an hour. Mark Martin brings the car down pit road. He'll get 4 tires on the Valvoline Ford. And he likewise said, guys, clean the, worried about the water temperature. And they make a major adjustment in the right rear to tighten up Mark Martin's Ford. Left side tires going on as we check in with Bill Weber.
Terry Labonte's getting 4 tires. They had a lug nut fall off on the right rear. Took him extra long in the pits. He pulls out with 50 tires. We wait for Jeff Burton.
Jeff Burton continues to stay out there as Ricky Rudd and Terry Labonte come out of the pits. So Burton, the way his car is handling, he won't lose as much as some of the others would on staying out there because his car is running faster than they were, but he can't afford to stay too long.
That's right, because the last time by, Jeff Burton ran 151.5 miles per hour. The 6th place car, Jeff Gordon, ran 159 miles per hour. So that's how much time he's losing while he stays out there with those worn tires. Oh, spun out.
Now they get on the Warriors hard there to enter pit road. We talked about how that might be a problem for some of the drivers. Bill?
Now Jeff Burton has to be patient as he crawls down pit road. He was tight in turn 2 and moves off of turn 4. So they'll try and make that adjustment with air pressure. He gets a drain, fuel, right side tires going on. Remember Burton with the great run here yesterday. Now they look around to the left side. Over on the right rear, Jack sliding. X-side Ford goes up. Burton sits patient. Left front is on. Waiting on the left rear. Plug up the right. 21 and change for the X-side Ford.
Not as fast a pit stop as some of the others that are running up front, but Jeff Burton completes his pit stop, and now we watch for the leader to come by. And has decided to come in for a pit stop. Michael Waltrip picked up the lead there for a lap, but he is now in. Bill Weber.
And a few years ago when Michael Waltrip Waltrip almost got his first win here at Darlington, but a broken air gun did him in. Now it's two air guns. Right front is tight. Right rear is on. It's swing around to the left side. Ricky Craven's in on the backstretch. Gone.
Tires going, left side tires going on Ricky Craven, waiting a little long on the left front. He's down and away.
19 seconds for Michael Waltrip as he goes back out. Also, Ricky Craven and Bud Car. Both cars going back on the racetrack.
And the leader is the 30 car of Johnny Benson, but he gives that lead up to come into the pits. Remember, we saw him on pit road during that caution period. Let's go to Bill Weber.
And this is Benson's second stop, remember? He stopped under a caution early in the race and had been marching through the field. Now the Pennzoil Pontiac 6 on pit road. The wedge wrenches in, they'll make a chassis adjustment. Benson getting right side tires, the fuel is in. Now they make the crack bar and the wedge adjustment, a big one. This car was very, very loose yesterday. Practice has been tight so far here in the Southern 500. Benson waiting for the left rear. He's on his way.
And with the sequence of pit stops, Jeff Gordon is the leader of the race, and he has almost a 3-second advantage on Dale Jarrett. And that 18.2-second pit stop by the Warriors contributed to his lead.
And Jeff Burton, the guy that was leading before, let's not watch the cars come by. There goes Dale Jarrett. Where's the 99 car? There he comes. Last time by, he was 8.5 seconds behind Jeff Gordon.
Now, his pit stop was not that much slower. He stayed out on the racetrack, what, 5 or 6 laps longer than did Jeff Gordon. And Jeff Gordon, with those new tires on, was running at least a second a lap faster than Jeff Gordon. And so that let him put some distance there. Now, when we get near the end of the run, the green flag run, that'll probably even itself out.
So the man going for the Winston Million, $1 million in bonus money, has taken the lead in the Mountain Dew Southern 500 after 74 laps. Back in a moment. Earlier this week here at Darlington, Ernie Irvan was announced as the driver next year. Mike Dillon, we understand, is in the 3 car back out on the racetrack.
Mike Dillon, the driver on the Detroit Gasket on the NASCAR Busch Series. Also Richard Childress' son-in-law, so obviously he was here watching the race today with Richard.
On the first lap of the race, Dale Earnhardt hit the wall. He was taken from the car. An oxygen mask was put on him. He was taken to the infield care center and is being taken to a local hospital for further evaluation.
A rookie would not be allowed to get in a car that he had not practiced, but this is a special exception here today.
Now coming up on that car that gave him some problems during happy hour yesterday.
He might get in some trouble today because this Kenny Schrader, this gold car, will go a lap down if the 24 car should pass it. So we know that this Schrader doesn't want that 24 car to go by. But can he stop it? Doesn't look like it.
No, I don't think he can.
And Schrader's running at 18th position, so now 17 cars are on the lead lap, and the next one to go down would be Jeff Bodine. Here's the battle for the 8th position, Ted Musgrave and Hut Strickland.
And let's put Musgrave in front of Hut Strickland.
Boy, Hut sure must like this racetrack. He runs well here, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Gordon just passed Ken Schrader to put him a lap down, and let's take a look at what I mentioned just a few minutes ago, and that is the problem that Jeff and Kenny had during happy hour yesterday.
Watch as they come off turn 2. They're just practicing, but Gordon gets the car about 30 degrees sideways, touches the left rear tire on Schrader's car. Schrader, meanwhile, brushed the wall when they came off the corner. It was just 6 inches from disaster for both those cars.
Could have been $1 million moment right there, but everything came out okay, and now Jeff Gordon is leading the race. On board with him, and now the field summary will show you where everyone is running. Terry Labonte and Bobby ran together on the racetrack, 9th and 10th. Terry just got around Bobby.
Those brothers, we've seen some good moments as they race out on the racetrack. Remember last year in Atlanta, take the lead so that he could get 5 points that moved him closer to the championship, and he indeed did go to the fourth championship. Just another step towards helping to spoil Jeff Gordon's efforts in trying to win the championship last year. There they come up with Mike Dillon. Mike has gotten up in the groove, is hoping to find himself just a spot out there where there wouldn't be any race cars, but then they all the race cars come up on you. He gets out of the way.
This would be his first time in a Winston Cup car?
As far as I know.
Yep. Now here is Jeff Bodine being lapped now as Gordon goes to the inside in the corner.
17th position. Jeff Bodine goes a lap down.
Well, obviously they got the problem pit stop, huh?
Looks like they do have the car in pretty good shape. And the guy who just dominated the first segment, right now he's gaining a little bit on Jeff Gordon, but not as fast as we thought he would with those fresh tires. He now is a little less than 5 seconds behind. As Wally Dallenbach is very slow on the backstretch.
There's the 99 of Jeff Burton, Bill Weber.
Well, guys, Jeff is definitely driving that car, but Buddy Parrott is coaching him from the sidelines. He was just 3 laps into the run on those new tires when Buddy Parrott told him, "Now you take care of these tires." 1 second later, Todd Parrott was on the radio to Dale Jarrett. Same thing. Take care of those tires. Like father, like son. These guys know you can't win the race after just 88 or 89 laps. It's 500 miles here at Darlington. You want to be on the lead lap and then make your run late in the race.
Terry Labonte moves around Hut Strickland, takes over the 9th position. And here comes Ricky Rudd in the tied Ford number 10. As Hut looks like a wiggle a little bit coming off.
Turn 1, turn 3, I'm sorry, used to be turn 1. They got me messed up turning this racetrack around. Now they have to start turn 4, coming to the start-finish line. That's where that is. That's right.
And these guys, even though they're running for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th position, they all put about a quarter of a lap in front of Jeff Gordon.
Let's check the speeds at the line.
We see that lap, Dale Jarrett was the second race car that's faster than the leader, Jeff Gordon. And he might be the fastest car in the top 6.
Well, he was a little over 3 seconds behind Gordon after they made their pit stop. Pared it down now to about 1:14 seconds.
And Labonte with the 3rd fastest speed there on that lap.
Anytime you pass cars, you watch the speeds and wonder why there's such a discrepancy. Anytime you pass cars on this racetrack, you look at Bill Evans. He passed the car that time and slowed down 5 miles per hour.
Doesn't mean anything's wrong with the car, the driver, just means he's in traffic.
Exactly. So Michael Walker got a good lap that time as well as Mark Martin.
Walker was one of the last ones to make a pit stop.
And Wally Dallenbach car being pushed behind the wall, so another disappointing outing for the First Union Chevy. Bill Weber.
Wally Dallenbach, hole in the radiator. They'll push it behind the wall, try and swap it out, and send it back out if they can. Hole in the radiator, puts Wally behind the wall.
2 cars are shown out of competition. The 96 car of Todd Bodine and the 2 car is also being shown out of the race by Rusty Wallace. There's Jeff Gordon. And the Mountain Dew Southern 500 continuing here with him leading by a second over Dale Jarrett. South Carolina, and Jeff Gordon leads the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Join ESPN tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern for NFL Prime Monday. 90 minutes of the most informative news, results, and injury reports from Week 1 of the NFL season. And then switch over to ABC for Monday Night Football, live at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The game features the Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Packers. All right, Jeff Gordon is leading. We heard his conversation with Ray Evernham before his pit stop, Jeff was complaining that the car was loose. Now, let's also check the conversation between these two guys after the pit stop and see if there was any improvement in the way this car is handling. This in our NASCAR Spotlight.
4,200 got him, Dave. Nice and easy, guys. 4 tires, 1 in the panner. 4 tires, 1 in the panner. Okay, it's going to start a little tighter now, so don't burn the right rear off trying to get her to turn. Alright, we got the water back down to 200 and 240. 10-4, bud. The grill screens are clogging up. That's all it is. The grill screens are clogging. Be real easy on them tires, Jeff. You're leading the race. You're the leader right now. Be easy on them tires.
That's the pit road speed in Waters' second gear. That would be 55 miles per hour. 1 in the panner bar. That's 1 down on the rear sway bar. And what else did he say?
Well, he said the temperature of the water was 205, I believe, and then he said 240. That didn't mean that the water was going from 205 to 240. That was the oil temperature that was at 240.
Jeff Gordon, second in the point standings coming in here. He has had great races, 16 finishes in the top 5, including 8 wins. But on the other hand, he has had some very bad races. As a matter of fact, 6 finishes outside the top 5, and all of them have been 21st or worst, and included in those 2 DNFs. The 4 car is having a problem. Sterling Marlin. Jerry, what's the problem?
Great qualifying effort, Bob. Sterling said the car had a little bit of a vibration, and a moment ago he radiated something in the engine, something inside. Then he radiated back to the engine builder and said, apparently we have dropped the valve. And now Sterling just said, I got to get the pit road. It's getting worse and worse. It may be getting ready to blow. I'm coming in.
The winner of the spring race here in 1995, Sterling Marlin, who has not had a good 1997. He's 11 points positions lower now than he was at this time last year.
And Bobby Hamilton will drive this car next year. It was announced here on Friday that Bobby Hamilton will move into Chevrolet in 1998.
The leader, Jeff Gordon, continues to work traffic out there.
Goes by Lance Hooper as he come off turn 2 in the 88 car. Dale Jarrett, and just a few car lengths behind, last two behind, 3/4 of a second behind. Jeff Burton's closed into about 3 1/4 seconds.
And Sterling Marlin does take his car to the garage area.
We have had 5 leaders so far this afternoon. 4 lead changes. Bill Elliott has led the most laps, 43. Gordon has led 32, still in the lead. Jeff has led 25. Michael Waltrip led 2, and Bobby Labonte led 1. Another Napa field summary, showing you where everybody was running last lap.
Elliott was a 4th place car. He is 7.5 seconds behind the leader. There he comes off the corner, trying to put a lap on Burton. That paw print on the hood of the MBNA car, that's a Clemson paw print. Clemson University here in South Carolina.
Back in 5th position is Jimmy Spencer. He's giving this car a good run.
This is one of Jimmy Spencer's favorite racetracks, Darlington. Does very well here.
It was announced this week also that he would be back in that car next year. Next is the 16 of Ted Musgrave.
And Michael Walton. Both those cars running in 6th and 7th spot.
There's Michael Waltrip, and we'll go inside the Citgo Ford.
He's going down the front stretch now. By the start-finish line, he will go down to turn 1, and he'll turn that baby in the corner. And he will go up, drift up the racetrack a little bit as he comes off of turn 4 and on the back stretch. His pinky finger is his button that he would talk to the pit crew. Next time by, as he comes off turn 4, he might talk to his crew this time by and tell him what the car's
On the wall in turn number 4. Caution is waving for the, and that's Jeff Purvis in car number 12.
And what Ernie Irvan and Bobby Labonte, they were just about to go a lap down. Jeff Gordon was right on their bumper. Now they'll get to come all the way around the racetrack and make that up.
Make up a mile and 3/8 on the leader by 8 of the caution flag. What a big break.
It's our second caution of the afternoon. It comes out on lap number 109. Jeff Purvis scraping the wall in turn number 4. Field is under caution this afternoon for the second time in the Mountain Dew Southern 500, and Ernie Irvan is showing significant damage, and he wasn't the reason for the caution.
Now, they told me that Jeff Purvis, who hit the wall earlier, was trying to come to pit road and hit off the racetrack on the pit road in front of Ernie Irvan. Ernie had to take evasive action on that gravel, and Ned and I talked about that sand trying to enter pit road. He spun the Havoc Texaco Ford, backed it in the fence, also hit it with the nose of the car. We can see heavy damage to the car. Jerry Punch.
Indeed, what was going to be a break for Ernie Irvan not to lose a lap because of the caution coming out now becomes somewhat of a nightmare. They began to beat and bang in the right front fender, the right rear, the left rear is banged in, the left front. Folks, the driver's side door and passenger side door are unscathed. Otherwise, all 4 corners of the car are being banged up. 4 tires flat. They changed the right side tires, and now they'll have to pry. So they managed to get a jack under the left side of the car. Left front is off. They're banging. That's Raymond Fox now banging with his fist, trying to pull out some of the sheet metal on the left front fender. They already had the left rear tire on, have it full of fuel. They're looking now, trying to survey damage in the right rear of the car. Having trouble getting the left front tire on. They said, Ernie, cut the wheel to the left. Cut it to the left. And what it is the fender is buckled in. They can't get the tire up on the wheel. They throw the sledgehammer down. They said, turn it more and more left, more left. Now he turns it to get the tire and wheel on. They're saying, here comes the pit car. Ernie heads back to turn 1.
He didn't make it.
No, he ran the stop sign. It was clearly showing red, and he went through it. Now, we did have the pit stops, of course, by those running up front while we were in commercial break. Let's take a look at what happened.
See Jeff Gordon coming in the pits. 88 car of Dale Jarrett. Also the 99 of Jeff Burton. I'm sure all these cars will change 4 tires. Jeff Burton's car going around to the left side. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett's team going around the left side. Also, Jeff Gordon's team. Left side's up on Burton. Pit stop is finished. Once again, some trouble on the rear tire. Dale Jarrett is moving. Jeff Gordon is moving.
And Jeff was pitted farther down towards turn 1. As a result, he beat him out.
And Bill Elliott will come out in second spot. Jerry Punch.
All right, the car number 24. They are clocked that pit stop, guys, at 17.2 seconds. It was 18.2 the last stop before they put an extra round in the Panhard bar. And the most important thing Ray said to Jeff was, Ray, Jeff, stay put. We have got to get that grill clean. Watch the water temperature. By the way, they're going to bring the 28 car back down pit road and hold him a lap as we check in with Bill Weber.
Jerry Dale Jarrett has told his crew he was a little loose. They made a track bar and an air pressure adjustment on Dale Jarrett's car. As far as the 99 is concerned, remember we had told you he was tight at turn 2 and loose off 4 before the previous pit stop? Well, they made an adjustment. Jeff didn't like it. He said, let's go back to the air pressure we had when we started the race. They just did that. Car chief Frank Stoddard told me that one of the reasons they lost so much ground was because they stayed out longer, one of the last cars to pit under that green flag sequence early in the race. And by the way, 37 laps on those tires off the 99, and they just told Jeff Burton they all look good. John Kernan.
Jimmy Spencer was in for a 4-tire change, no adjustments other than to pull a little tape off of the grill. Now, we always talk about how big a disadvantage it is pitting on the backstretch. Well, Spencer's crew got him in and out in just under 18 seconds flat, about 17.9. He came in running 5th. He went out running 6th. Let's go back to the front stretch and Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, Ernie Irvan back on pit road, not by choice. He had to come back in obviously for repairs, but NASCAR brought him back in. They're going to hold him a lap here in the pits. He lost 1 lap with that spin up there when the car number 12 pulled in front of him, and now he'll lose the 2nd lap in the pits here under caution at Darlington. We are under caution here at the track. Too tough to tame in the 48th running of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. We'll be right back.
Just as you rejoin us, the green flag comes out. We're back to racing at the Mountain Dew Southern 500 on lap 115. We had 6 laps. And now the back on the front is Jeff Gordon. million drivers right here. Bill won it in '85, and Gordon wants to win it this year.
Let him buy? Yeah, he's going to let him go. He's not going to buy it. Take a chance. That's good thinking, Jeff.
So we have Ford against Chevy after 15 races here in the 19. He's won 10, Ford has won 4, and Oldsmobile has won once. Pontiac has not won on an arrow.
Dale Jarrett trying to get by, and he will get alongside Jeff Gordon to go down at 1.
They get awfully close together. Jeff Gordon will let him sort things out here. Racing real hard. He's got 5 bonus points already for lead. And still lots of laps left here. He can still get the 5 bonus points for lead for most laps. But if you don't, not that big a lead.
Jeff Burton once again is on the move. He's up to 4th spot.
Yes, when the Ford's pulled up behind Jeff Gordon, they got his car just a little bit loose, and he decided he'd wait till the tires got a little bit harder. And Jimmy Spencer, the Camel car, the fifth place car, he's been able to get by Musgrave.
And here's trouble up in turn number 1 is Jeff Purvis again.
Oh, and we got several cars behind him piling into each other.
Caution is out. Get everything looks good. Don't let the fire by you.
John Andretti's involved.
Steve Grissom.
25 car hit you.
And John Andretti has suffered a major damage to his RCA Ford.
Serious damage, you're right. Very serious damage to the RCA car.
All sides.
So once again, the caution comes out here for the 3rd time this afternoon.
Still running, John?
Tony Furr asking John.
Still running?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, Tony. Stop. That thing hit pretty hard in the front.
Here's what started it. Here's Jeff Purvis up in the very corner. Let's go down the corner. He's going to go up and hit the wall, into the wall, as the cars behind him start slowing down and checking up because of the caution flag. Then when the crash really starts.
That's Andretti up against the wall, Craven to his inside, and Steve Grissom behind. And this should be exciting on board with Ricky.
That guy had a tough year this year. Ricky Craven.
He sure has. John Kernan.
Ricky Craven's in a lot of sheet metal damage on the left side. This is not the first time this year they're actually having problems getting the car, the jack under the car. Not the first time that this car's been involved in a crash. Remember in Atlanta, that hard T-bone into Ted Musgrave? This is that car. And now the left side's changed, and they'll be sending it back out short. Well, let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Mark Martin had been in twice on the previous caution. They had the second time to come in to put a rubber in the right front. He said the car is so very loose he couldn't drive it. He came back in just now. They're going to make an adjustment of the rubber in the right front. They put 3 rounds of bite in the car. They still got the car jacked up on pit road, trying to work with the right front, trying to get the car tightened up and trying to place a rubber that's in the interstitial, the space of the spring, the right front spring. As a spotter now watching for the pace car out of turn 4. Martin still sitting on the pit road. And while you're watching Mark Martin, I might mention that the 18 car also made 2 pit stops on the previous stop. They made a sweep adjustment in the shock absorbers because Bobby Labonte's car would not turn. And then they spilled water on the radio. As the car number 6 is down and away, the 18 car should be coming back in. And what we're talking about with Bobby Labonte is they made a sweep adjustment on the shock absorber and they spilled water on the radio, so the radio is stuck open and they can hear Bobby, but he cannot hear them. In other words, he has no spotter. So when the caution came out, they were jumping up and down on the pit wall trying to get Bobby's attention, so possibly he would slow down prior to getting over to turn 1 and 2. Now he brings the pole-sitting Interstate Batteries Pontiac back on the pit road, and they go to work on the radio. He said this happened about 3 or 4 races ago. When you spill water in the radio, suddenly it just short circuits the radio where you can hear the driver, but he can't hear him. But about 20 or 30 minutes later, when it dries out, the radio works fine. It took the Ford to Darlington to take that chance, so they have brought a different radio in to try to strap it in as you watch Bobby Labonte. And once again, Mark Martin will come back in trying somehow to correct the problem. The car is being so very, very loose.
So we're continuing on the Valvoline Ford, and those spotters are the eyes of the race driver. And boy, when you can't hear them, you know how desperately you need them when there is action on the racetrack that you just can't see in front of you. They're located up above us here at Darlington Raceway, keeping an eye on the racetrack and telling their driver what's going on out there. We'll be back in just a moment. Under caution here at Darlington, John Kernan standing by with John Andretti.
And Bob, the good news is John is okay, but they just towed his car back to the garage area. It's pretty well beat up. John, what happened?
Well, the guy got up in the wall and going into turn one, and 3 guys were in front of me, and they slowed down. I didn't know it, and I just I clipped the edge of the 25 car and got him around, and then I got hit in the back and hit the wall. And but I do want to say something. RCA executive was injured in a car accident, he and his family, and we wish Jeff Chapman, Michelle, and Madeline and Mallory all the best, you know, to get well. They're all pretty seriously hurt, and our best wishes and prayers go out to them.
And so do ours. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
All right, Mark Martin has been on and off pit road 3 different times during this caution flight. Let me show you why. What I'm holding in my hand here is a rubber spacer. They are cut in thirds. Ordinarily, they're a complete circle. This is 1/3 of the circle. They got 2/3 of this rubber circle in the right front. This final third, they pushed and beat and banged with a hammer and could not get it in. They wanted all 3 parts in the right front to try to stiffen the right front spring, tighten the left rear of the car so the car would actually be tighter going in the corner. Mark had complained the car was loose. He was slipping and sliding, entering 1 and entering 3. Maybe 2/3 will be enough.
Getting set to go back to green here at Darlington, and there isn't anybody whose heart isn't a little sad today because of the tragedy that occurred last evening that took the life of Lady Di. And the pit wall here along the front stretch right next to the Tide crew has already indicated that they are in memory of Lady Di.
That's the most tragic thing I've heard in a long, long time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it is.
Okay, we're ready to go racing again. Bill Elliott the leader.
Elliott leading, Jarrett second, Gordon third, Burton fourth, and Jimmy Spencer.
Great flag.
Green comes out at the conclusion of 1 up to 26.
There's Jeff Burton trying to get alongside Jeff Gordon, and he will take the spot away.
He's in the third.
Spencer's right behind Gordon, and Gordon lost a little bit of his momentum.
Driver go in under another one and slide up the track there, and another driver go back by him. Jeff Gordon didn't want to risk anything there. He said, okay, he's not him, to let him pass, and not fight him. He knows that patience is the key.
That's right. He can lose a few battles right now as long as he wins the war. That's what he's here for.
There you see first and second, and the lap car of Jeff Bodine from the Pennzoil Copter Cam hovering high overhead Darlington Raceway this afternoon. It's also very early in the race comparatively. We've only completed 127 of the 367 laps, so we've still got quite a ways to go to halfway.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing to be done here yet.
It's a very warm, humid day here in Darlington, South Carolina.
Matter of fact, we had a few sprinkles about an hour before the race started. The skies were rather cloudy and the humidity was way, way up there. Now the skies have become partly sunny, but the temperature is high and so is the humidity.
But it wouldn't be Darlington in September if that were not the case.
The 21 car of Michael Waltrip having a good run here in the early going. He's in 6th position. He is about seconds behind the leaders, but Michael's having a good day so far. Meanwhile, up front, the lead heats up. The battle for the lead. Jarrett closing in on Bill Elliott.
Elliott has that momentum on the top side.
Yeah, Elliott's got a higher line there than this Dale Jarrett through turns 3 and 4.
Up the racetrack, and Jarrett dives down the inside. Meanwhile, Hut Strickland goes by Michael Walker, takes 6th spot.
But again, turn high, Bill Elliott has the momentum, and he just drives right on the way.
And look at the speeds versus what we saw back about 50, 60 laps ago. 160 miles an hour for the leader, and we were seeing back speeds of 153, 154 at the end of the run, and that's exactly what we'll see at the end of this run. Those tires
The last time Bill Elliott visited Victory Lane in the NASCAR Winston Cup race was here in this race in 1994.
What you see there is every car on the lead lap. That is the first 12 cars. Around to 13th, he is the first car 1 lap down.
Jeff Gordon had the fastest speed. Now give it to Terry Labonte.
Terry Labonte came in and put on 4 tires during the
See Mike Skinner sitting there talking to the crew, telling them what happened.
There's debris on the racetrack. Big piece of metal laying just before you get to the start-finish line. He coming down now, taking the caution for the 4th time this year.
Wow. See Skinner moving around because he had Bristol last week. They carried it from the car. He was okay, but here we see the 40 car. Robbie Gordon getting alongside 31. They come off the corner. And Robbie Gordon comes up, just touches the 31 car and turns him directly into the fence net. Watch.
Yeah, he's going to hit it head on. Look at wow.
Man.
And so both Childress cars have had problems here as those on the lead lap now come in for pit stops, led by Bill Elliott. Jarrett, Burton, and Gordon behind. Bill Elliott.
Dale Jarrett rolls into pit road, now into the spot. Right side tires and fuel for DJ. He's been running real well. Straight one.
Well, other than peeling away the windshield and cleaning the front grill, they're not going to make any difference at all on the Donald Ford 4 tires. Back to you, Bill.
Jarrett has his left side tires. After Tice, he's heading towards turn 1.
Left front lug nuts, left front lug nuts. He's down on the way. Here's Gordon down. Jarrett down. This will be Elliott, then Gordon. Back to turn 1.
John Carter and Jimmy Spencer's pit.
Jimmy Spencer has moved up to the 4th position. Now he's pitting here on the backstretch. It'll be a 4-tire change. He's asked the crew to tighten the car just a little bit, so they added a half-round of wedge in the left rear. Donnie Wingo, the crew swing around to the left side as the guys who pitted on the front stretch are already making their way down the backstretch. Left side tires going on, waiting. Now the Jackie back out to the racetrack, but he did lose several positions.
That's the disadvantage we keep talking about by the back pit. If guys on the front finish your pit stop, they go back on the racetrack, and Spencer, pitting on the back, will go to the very end of the cars on the lead lap.
Mike Skinner, I should say, got out of the car and walked to the ambulance. He appears to be okay. High overhead, Darlington Raceway, South Carolina gives you an idea of indeed this racetrack is egg-shaped. And this shot is from the Pennzoil Copter Cam. We are under caution because of a crash involving Mike Skinner. Let's go on board with him and watch and listen.
Wow.
Wall didn't give an inch, did it? And just watch how quickly that car slid across the track and hit the inside range.
Mark Martin looking back at this. Watch Skinner gets turned and boom, down on the inside wall. Folks, he had to be running, I'd say 140 miles an hour when he goes into that wall.
But Mike got out of the car under his own power, walked to the ambulance, appears to be okay. We'll take another quick break and be right back. And again, just as you rejoin us, the green flag comes out. We go back to racing. Ted Musgrave did not make a pit stop, is the leader at the moment, but boy, Bill Elliott is right there on his spoiler.
And Musgrave has about 15 laps on his tires, Bob. It's not going to stick in the turns as good as Elliott with their tires. Bill Weber?
Exactly right, and they said only 10 laps had gone by, so James Inch decided to leave him out there. Ted has fallen back to third, but they said the car has been tight all day, but it's getting better and better. In fact, he said it's just now beginning to come to us. They think they're going to be strong in the second half.
Jeremy Mayfield way up against the wall. That puts him 2 laps down now as both Elliott and Jarrett passing by.
Well, before the caution came out, these two battling for the lead. Same way they are there right now.
And this time the top Jeremy had to run on the inside, but they once again, Elliott has that momentum.
Can't do it. Boy, I think that turn gets sharp down there getting that inside. It sure does. It's very difficult to pass a big car like that.
We have completed 141 laps of this race, and Jeff Gordon going for the Winston Million is still very much in contention. He's running in 5th position at the moment. Jimmy Spencer is another driver on the move here. He's moving past Terry Labonte and going into 10th.
Well, he lost we talked about the number of spots he lost to that pit stop, hitting on the backstretch, but he's picking them back up now.
Jeff Gordon and Ted Musgrave running side to side there. The Roush teammates as Gordon goes by Musgrave, and so does Jeff Gordon.
So move Jeff Gordon down to the 4th spot.
Jerry can update us now on the pit stops. Jerry?
Well, a lot of guys coming in the pits. I'm not going to talk about pit stops exactly, guys, but I'm going to comment on the fact that during these pit stops, a lot of drivers, you'd be surprised how fast word spreads. The drivers heard that Dale Earnhardt was not responsive to the crew during the parade lap and hit the wall in lap 1, and then very uncharacteristically was taken out of the race car in an ambulance and taken away. So many drivers during that last caution were asking their crew chiefs, how is Dale Earnhardt? Please find out how Dale Earnhardt is. Even though he beat him like a drum for many years as a Winston Cup champion after champion, a lot of these guys, they're concerned about this. During the caution, when they could wander a little bit, they were very concerned about their colleague, Dale Earnhardt. Speaking of the Earnhardt and Childress team, let's check in over there with John Kernan.
And I'm with Dale Earnhardt's teammate Mike Skinner, who just had that very hard crash out there on the racetrack. He's been checked out in the infield care center. He is okay. Mike, that had to be a very scary ride. Just listening to it on my headset, it sounded scary to me.
I can't hear what you're saying, but we got tagged from behind over there, and Lowe's Chevrolet spun around and hit the wall pretty good lick. I don't think they'll be able to get it back out there. I hate it for Lowe's, MTD, everybody associated with the car. I hate it for this team. It's 2 weeks in a row that got hit from behind. I looked out a while ago. I guess there's a sign on the back of this car that says hit me, but you know, NASCAR can see what's going on, and maybe they can do something about it.
Let's go back upstairs.
And we also want to say hi to Mike's wife, Beth, who was out of the hospital yesterday after breaking her cheekbone.
Mike Skinner signed a contract with Richard Childress for the next 2 years.
Well, here are more Roush teammates. We saw Jeff Burton running with Ted Musgrave a while ago. Now Mark Martin has come up on him, and Mark is trying to take away the 5th spot from Ted. This is from Mark Martin, however, looking back.
Ted's going to move to the inside. Let Mark go by to the outside. Blake's being there in the 9 car. Blake is 2 laps down.
John Kernan is with another driver that's been involved in a crash here this afternoon, Ricky Craven.
And his crew is working behind the pit wall to try and get him back out there. Ricky, what exactly is wrong with the car?
We just got beat up when we got run over. And we had at least the third best Chevrolet today. But I didn't do a very good job qualifying, so we paid the price.
Well, Ricky Craven's crew is putting the finishing touches on the car. He'll be getting back into the car and heading back out onto the racetrack. And you can see what kind of move he is in right now. Can't blame him, really. It's been a tough weekend.
Well, it's been a tough year for Ricky Craven. Yeah, you're right. He grabbed the car. The last practice had to go to a backup car. So the Budweiser team has had a tough season.
Michael Walker closes in on the back of the 16 car, Ted Musgrave. That's about for the 6 months. We saw the 9 car late speed pass just a moment ago, past Musgrave and go on. The speed of the 9 and belly cars a couple of laps down.
Included in that group is the 11 car that you're seeing in the shot there, driven by Brett Bodine. He's in 14th. He's right behind Michael Waltrip. Meanwhile, Jimmy Spencer and Terry Labonte both close in on Waltrip and Musgrave.
Spencer is in 8th place. Terry Labonte is in 9th.
Spencer goes underneath. Here comes Labonte trying to get by. He will go by Brett Bodine and Michael Waltrip alongside Musgrave. He'll take this spot away. Up 6 spots, sorry.
And here comes Spencer, also moving around.
Right up on Michael Waltrip. Spencer's got a good race car.
Yes, he does.
And he's trying to get alongside Michael Waltrip. And coming off turn 4, he's got momentum. He'll take that spot away.
6th position now for Jimmy Spencer. And there is Terry Labonte. So it's pretty obvious that those old tires are not going to do the trick for Ted Musgrave.
I'm sure Ted's thinking right now, man, I wish we could adjust the tires on this thing. It was nice to lead this race and get those 5 bonus points, but the way this car feels right now, I'd sure like to have me some new tires.
Up front, it is Bill Elliott leading Dale Jarrett by just a few car lengths, with Jeff Burton 4th and Jeff Burton in 3rd position.
And Jeff Burton that time was much faster, a mile per hour faster than the second place car, about a half mile per hour faster than the leader. And Jeff Gordon was about 2.5 miles per hour slower than the leader. So Jeff Gordon struggling a little bit.
Well, we appreciate you spending some time with us here on Labor Day weekend. It's a tradition that's been going on since 1950. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington, being brought to you by the legendary Firebird Trans Am from Pontiac, by MasterCard. MasterCard, the official card of NASCAR. By Miller Genuine Draft, who reminds you it's time for a good old macro brew. And by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction. 153 laps completed out of 367 in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. We'll be right back. Bill Elliott, Awesome Bill, $1 Million Bill, leads the Mountain Dew Southern 500 here in 1997 with Dale Jarrett not too far behind and Jeff Burton not too far behind him. Then comes Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Burton is gaining on the 2 leaders, that's for sure.
There is Jeff Burton, 3rd car. And an AutoZone on track. Laps 152 through 156.
And we see that said is faster than the leader Elliott. Started at 1.8 seconds behind, finished 1.1 seconds behind. And now it's probably even closer than that as he stalks Dale Jarrett. And Jimmy Spencer, he's moved up to the 5th spot by Michael Waltrip, by Terry Labonte, by Mark Martin.
5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th right there. It's Mark Martin, who is kind of trailing back a little bit. Looking back from Michael Waltrip's car to Terry Labonte. Whoa, Waltrip got way up high, and Jimmy Spencer goes way down low and passes Dick Trickle.
Looks like he pulled up behind the 90 car, got it, went up the other catch it. Spencer just turned left, went under the Holly Myers car. Oh, this time. Well, Spencer gets loose.
Oh, man.
And they're 3 abreast.
You can't do that going into this turn. Okay, they figured that out.
Mark Martin a moment ago, he was leading this group when they came up behind him. He just said, go ahead, guys.
And Jerry has more on the 6 car.
Remember I showed you the rubber spacer, the third part of the circle they were trying to get in the right front? Well, they definitely needed it because Mark said the car has just gotten very, very bad loose. He cannot drive it in the corner very hard. The car just slides sideways. He has to turn the wheel to the right and catch it. And here at Darlington, there's not a lot of room to go to the right when you enter the corner. Now, what's the problem he's having? The problem with Jeff Gordon is almost identical. Gordon just radioed Ray Evernham and said, hey, Ray, remember how loose you were at the beginning of the race? And Ray said, yeah. He said, well, we're even worse now, and it's getting worse lap by lap. Ray said, it's because you're burning your right rear tire off trying to stay up with those 4s.
Well, he's led 44 laps here this afternoon. Has been one of 6 leaders, Jeff Gordon is.
And Spencer, evidently, either something's wrong with the car, he went the car sideways off the corner, he loses 2 spots.
He might have done the same thing that Ray Evernham, Jerry was talking about Ray Evernham on Jeff Gordon's car. He might have burnt that right rear off coming up through there.
How about it, John Kernan?
Well, we're not sure if that's the problem, but Jimmy just radioed in and said the car has gotten very, very loose. Remember, that last pit stop, they took a half a round to wedge out. It'll go way high there. So Spencer telling his team that the car is very, very loose. They tell them just to hang on. Next pit stop, they'll fix it.
A few laps ago, Hutch Strickland was running up front, and watch as he goes to the corner, and the 18 car, Bobby Labonte, pulls up right behind him, and might even touch him right there, and gets the car extremely loose. Hutch had no choice but back off the accelerator. This is coming off turn 2, and he lost 3 or 4 spots. He's worked his way back now to he's back to the 12th spot.
Yeah, he's the last car on the lead lap. Hutch Strickland being followed by Kenny Wallace.
And right now, Hutch Strickland is 22 seconds behind the leaders. In other words, the leaders are not too far behind him.
And a crash involving Ward Burton and Hutch Strickland.
Got 2 spots behind us. We're going to have to move along if we can.
Bill Weber.
Well, before that, Hud had told his crew chief, Bill Engel, that he was tight in turn 2 and loose off of turn 4, so his car was not handling as well as they had hoped. And obviously now he's going to have some other problems.
5th caution of the race comes out on lap 168.
You see Jeff Gordon going by. Jeff Gordon that then was about almost 13 seconds behind the leaders. More than a half lap. Not quite a half lap, I should say.
And so it will allow Jeff and everybody else who is having some handling problems to come in and get them corrected. Have that then.
Well, let's take a look at Hutch Strickland. The number 8 car, there's Ward Burton in the black 22. And it had been reported that his car was very loose. Look how high he goes up in the turn. Kenny Wallace goes on the outside of 22, and look here, comes off of there, a little joggle coming off the turn. Kenny Wallace tries to go by down on the inside. Let's see if he makes that pass. Ooh, and Hutch still loose, and they make contact, and that's what caused the wreck.
And it looked like Derek Cope ran into the back of Ward Burton also. Down to Bill Weber.
Well, Hutch Strickland is here right now. He pitted early before the pits were open, and now the leaders are on pit road. They have to dodge Hutch pulling out. There it is, and he goes around to the right side. He'll get 4 tires and fuel. His car performing well. 168 laps on the board. Right side's going on, and they come around and do the left. Jerry has the race lead.
Right side tires and a track bar adjustment for Bill Elliott trying to tighten the car up. Left side tires going on. Meanwhile, also a major adjustment on Mark Martin's car further up pit road. And Jeff Gordon again a rubber out the left front as the 88 car is out. Here's a 24 pulling out in front of his teammate. The 5 of Terry Lonnie. The 88 behind him. And then the 99 has 21, 26 all head in line back to turn 1. Let's go to John Crow.
Jimmy Spencer is in once again, pitting on the backstretch. We'll see if they can have a quick pit stop and maybe not lose quite as many spots. He moved back up to the top 5. 4 tire change. They took a half pound of air out of the right rear, trying to tighten the car up. Left side's coming off, going on, but the guys who have pitted on the front stretch are already making their way down the backstretch. And now Spencer slowly pulling on.
He said there's not much point because I'm going back to the 11th spot.
Yep. He might get out in front of Ted Musgrave. I don't know if he... No, he didn't. Musgrave was leader a little bit behind the others that pitted on their front stretch.
Under caution once again here at Darlington and the Southern 500. 169 laps completed. We're almost to the halfway point, which is lap 184. Back in just a moment. Track facts are brought to you by Quaker State, the quality your car deserves.
The gentleman you're looking at right there is Terry Satchel. He is a bachelor in mechanical engineering. That's his education degree. For 21 years, he was a chassis design engineer for General Motors. He left GM and went to work for Roger Penske, where as an engineer, he won back-to-back Indy 500s with Emerson Fittipaldi and Al Unser Jr. Today, he works with Andy Petrie. He is the chief engineer for Kenny Schrader. Why a mechanical engineer in NASCAR? Well, let me show you. Here's what Terry Satchel can do. This is what's called a deterioration curve. For you engineering buffs, you know what I'm talking about. This 30, 31, 32, that's laps, that's seconds per lap. This is the number of laps, 0 to 60. Every time they change tires and come in, they plot the lap times, lap 5, lap 10, lap 15, lap 20. You see how the times get slower and slower and slower? That's the slope of the curve. That's how the tires begin to go away and then slow down here at Darlington. Now, the average is 0.037 seconds per lap. That's the average slope if you slow down. If you flatten the slope down and slow down less, you stay more consistent on a longer run. If you start making the slope steeper, it means you've got a problem with the car. You need to pit earlier. That's the average. 0.037 seconds a lap times 40 to 60 laps means over a period of 1 fuel stop, you'll lose almost 2 seconds during the run. That's why mechanical engineering very useful here in NASCAR.
Boy, high-tech stuff, huh?
It is that.
Man, oh man. Happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. It is warm and humid here in Darlington, South Carolina, but the Southern 500 rolls on. Under caution, just about to go back to green. 173 laps have been completed, and there is the overhead shot, courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam. All right, Jeff Gordon now is being shown in second position right behind the leader, Bill Elliott. Now, we've been eavesdropping on the conversation between Jeff and Ray Evernham and other members of the crew as to whether or not they've been making the right adjustments as we go along here. Let's listen to the most recent conversation in another NASCAR Spotlight.
Take a look at those last 2 sets, or I know you already have. Are we wearing the right rear out the worst?
Believe it or not, Jeff, the left sides are wearing worse. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that we made it too tight and then it was getting loose? Did we go too far in that pattern and maybe we should have went with some wedge instead?
I don't know, Ray, maybe.
Did it feel tighter and then get looser up off?
No, not yet. I don't know what's going on over here. The right rear or something. I'm real loose. What is Dick Trickle doing?
Pat, ask him to move out of the way. He's not racing us, just holding us up.
I was just wondering if everybody else was complaining loose, or was it just us and that set of tires?
Might have been that set of tires. Mark's complaining loose, but most of the other fours are complaining tight.
That goes to show you that they monitor the other teams to find out what they're doing. They listen to their radio broadcast to find out what they're doing. And when Ray Evernham said, Tap, tell him to move over, he's not racing us, that's Dave Tapman, the spotter for the 24 car up on top of the roof here.
Down to Bill Weber with more pit updates.
Okay, well, the Kellogg's crew is the reigning Unocal Pit Crew champions. They just ripped one off at 17.37. Terry Labonte has an excellent race car, and they really believe the track is going to come to him in the second half of the race. There was an exchange down here on pit road. Both Jeff Burton and Dale Jarrett are very unhappy with the tactics each other is using on their entrance to the pits. It's something that began last week at Bristol. After this round of pit stops, Todd Parrott ran all the way down and got in the face of his father, Buddy Parrott, down here in the 99 pit. Buddy Parrott retaliated. Todd went back to his pit. They're both back ready to go to work as we're ready to go to green. Buddy Parrott says his biggest concern now is that he might be in trouble with Todd's mother.
Yeah. Green out once again.
I guess Judy would probably take up for the children under that situation. And look at Elliott getting a great jump from Blake Speed. They're trying to get a lap back in that 9 car.
Yeah, Blake Speed dropped down between Bill Elliott and Jeff Gordon at the restart.
There's Jim Trickle trying to get alongside Jeff Gordon. Got him one. And Gordon goes up the hill. Trickle those new tires. But we've seen those cars come off the corner with momentum. Can Jeff Gordon do it? Yes, he does.
Well,
Jarrett looks to the inside of Terry Labonte, but falls back behind him in about a position. We talked to Jeff Gordon in a Speed Week interview that aired Friday night, and one of the things that he mentioned on a couple of occasions, he said that he and Ray are communicating about this race, and I think what we have heard about spotlights, fans have a lot of conversation together, and one of the problems through communication.
Blake Speed, the 9 car, closes up a little bit on Bill Elliott as Dale Jarrett goes by Labonte and moves into the 3rd spot.
Labonte did rip off a great pit stop. He was running back at 6th or 7th position, came out in 3rd or 4th.
Here is Jeff Burton looking to the inside now of Terry Labonte. Off in the 4th corner, onto the main straightaway. And points were awarded right now as we look at Burton, and he passes Terry Labonte and takes over the 4th position. If points were awarded right now, Jeff Gordon would have a 24-point margin and a crash on the corner.
come on to the back. Come on to
Mass
the
was
back.
involved there, the 75 car, the 1 car looks like Lance Hooper.
And Blake Speed did not, in fact, get a lap back.
This is off of corner number 2 down the backstretch. Rick Mass sitting there along with the 1 car driven by Lance Hooper.
There was a 3rd car involved too, I believe, Bob. We'll check out and see who that was here in a moment.
I think Lance Hooper ran into the 75 car, the Remington car. But anyway, the safety truck is there to check on the 2 drivers.
I could have been mistaken.
I think there was a 3rd car, Ned, involved. But I think he was not, his car not injured. Is that a fire? I guess he started it up.
And here it is in progress. And the 78 car there, no, he got out in front of it. That's the 3rd car that I saw.
Yep.
Gary Bradbury.
Lance Hooper in his 5th NASCAR Winston Cup start. And his afternoon comes to an abrupt end off corner number 2.
And we see Mast is spinning back up in the corner as he comes back across the racetrack. And Lance Hooper says, well, it's closed on the bottom. Well, but when he got there, they absolutely met head on. And then Hooper into the inside wall.
Just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Ted Musgrave on pit road. Bill Weber, can you see it?
Sure can. They've made right side tire change. They work on the left side. They've also made a track bar adjustment. Remember, Ted got a little bit out of sequence, but now he's got 4 fresh tires and a track bar adjustment. He'll head back out. He's the only one on this side of pit road. Let's go to the backstretch and John Kernan.
Well, Jimmy Spencer had dropped back to one of the last cars on the lead lap. So Donnie Wingo and the crew put their heads together and said, hey, we're that far back. Why don't we just come on in, take on 4 fresh tires? Jimmy says the car's in really good shape now. Remember, they made that air adjustment on the right rear to tighten it up. So Spencer comes out with 4 fresh tires, and he will once once again try to work its way toward the front.
Remember Musgrave and those guys gambled, what, 100 laps ago or 50 laps ago and said, well, 5 laps, that's not too much, we'll stay out there. This time they're going to pit every time the caution flag comes out. I don't care if it's 2 laps or 3 laps. They're going to put fresh tires on those cars.
Rick Mast is out of his car and limping to the ambulance. We're nearing the halfway point here at Darlington. We are completing lap 182. Lap 184 is the halfway point. ESPN Speed World live coverage today on this day before Labor Day in the Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington. There's the overhead shot, courtesy of the Pennzoil Power Can, continuing to serve this 1.366 mile racetrack. Well, Kyle Petty continues to be in this race. He's back in 34th position. He's been named first quarter nominee for the True Value Man of the Year. Dr. Jerry Punch has an update on pit road.
There's a lot of moisture in here in the car number 28 pit of Ernie Irvin. When Irvin was involved in the accident, he lost the ductwork in front of the car that keeps the car cool, so we had to bring the car in a couple of times and literally pour water in and around the radiator. The concern was, and Robert Yates asked NASCAR, said, would you let us move up pit road to the empty pit? Because if we pour water all over the front of our car, our pit stall is going to be very, very wet. And we are pitting right beside Jeff Gordon, so when he comes down pit road, he can hit our water and slide through his pits. NASCAR said, no, you got to stay put. So they're trying to dry the pits. They've been on and off pit road with sweepers and blowers, trying to dry the moisture up, but it's still pretty doggone wet down here in the Haviland pit.
As the field comes down the main straightaway, they receive the cross flags indicating that we have reached the halfway point of this race, but we are under caution, and so the halfway money will not be paid for a while. But 184 of the 367 laps that make up the Mountain Dew Southern 500 have been completed. Welcome back to Darlington. Just as you rejoin us, the green flag comes out again. We're back to racing.
Still trying to get a lap back. And he is one of the fastest cars out there.
Jeff Gordon is still second, and Dale Jarrett is in third as he tries to get around Dick Trickle.
Here comes Gordon on the inside of speed, trying to get on the inside, can't quite make it. Race car through this first and second corner, but not good enough that time to get by high speed.
That's within 5 laps of the green to get the A-grade halfway point.
And Trickle moves over, lets Dale Jarrett go by, and Jeff Burton tries to go alongside. He will go by Dick Trickle as well.
Trickle is the first car on or not on the lead lap. He's in 12th spot. And here is Gordon getting around late speed.
And Dale Jarrett is not going to take all that time to get around late speed, which will be a huge advantage.
11 cars on the main lap. Is in 12th position.
Let's take a look at the speeds again.
And we see that Elliott, 161. No traffic in front of him. Jimmy Spencer back in traffic running 160 miles per hour.
Yeah, he's involved in quite a bit of traffic back there. Still,
right there, Spencer right behind Robbie Gordon and Brett Bodine. Cars behind Spencer. There's Mark Martin, the points leader, and the 16 car of Ted Musgrave. Also Ricky Rudd, the 10 car. He's in that race.
Irvin comes back down pit road. He's already 7 laps down.
Brett Bonine. And Ted Musgrave loses, I start to say loses another spot, but Jeff Bonine, the 7th, he is a lap down to the 16th, so now the 16th car is back in 11th spot.
Ricky Rudd trying to bounce back a bit here. Since he won the Brickyard 400, his average finish has been 29th. And now both Jeff Gordon and Dale Jarrett begin to close in on the leader, Bill Elliott. The interval is down to less than a half second.
And look, that 4th place car right there, Jim Burton is coming in there too. I think he's gaining on all of them.
Bill Elliott, the leader at the halfway point of this race. 7 of the 22 races have been won by the driver running up front at the halfway point. John Kernan is with Lance Hooper, who was involved in an accident a few laps ago.
And he has been checked out. Lance, I guess you're all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just my pride hurt a little bit. We had a real bad qualifying effort, but the R&L Carrier team stood behind me and we kept plugging away at the race to get the car a lot better. And we were avoiding all the wrecks, but the 75 car spun in front of me. Spotter told me to go low, and next thing I knew it, he was in front of me and I hit him.
Took a pretty good lick there. It looked like from the damage to your car.
Yeah, we hit him pretty hard, but I'm all right. Rick's all right, and I guess we'll get him next week.
Okay, that's Lance Hooper. He's okay.
He was certainly a victim of circumstances, though, because he was taken out by Rick Masters. Rick hit the wall in number 2, slid down the racetrack. Jeff Gordon is the fastest car among the top 6 right now. Another Napa Field summary. He's closing in on Bill, isn't he?
Yep, closer and closer. He's just a third of a second behind.
Benny pointed out there a moment ago, he really gets off turn 2 over there. That is a good spot on the racetrack for him. And as you well know, driving this track for a number of years, that's a good spot to have a car working good for you. You can get through down there. You can sort of wrestle the car through there, but you get through pointing now 1 and 2 over there is the key to getting around this racetrack.
Been able to put a few car lengths on Dale Jarrett as he tries to catch Bill Elliott.
There you see it came off turn 2, moved in a little bit closer.
Once again, that last lap, Jeff had the fastest speed. Jeff Gordon has 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s in 9 races here, including 3 wins. Not only did he win Winston Million today, but trying to become the first driver to win 3 consecutive Southern 500s. Martin has just picked up another position.
Making a lot of adjustments on his Valvoline.
He is the points leader coming into this race today. Watch everybody come through and pick up Mark. There he is, running just ahead of Johnny Benson. Jared Punch.
Well, you heard us talk about how many adjustments they made to the car on the finish today. Just talked to Steve Mills, and then we put a rubber in the right, probably changed the track bar, we added wedge, and nothing would help it. So on this last pit stop, they brought Mark down pit road, and Steve Mills told the crew to go out there and just lower that track bar until you get tired, and then we'll let him go. Just keep cranking, lower the track bar about 4 rounds, and now Mark says, hey guys, we're starting to feel a little better.
Right on top of that steering wheel.
You want your arms collapsed like he has them, because that way you're able to put your shoulders and your old body into the car when you turn the steering wheel. If he had his arms extended, he'd only be turning with his arms in his hands, and you'd be exhausted and just no time. But a dirt track driver, you have the wheel away from. When I first started on the dirt tracks, I had the wheel a long ways from me so I could really turn that thing back and forth. But as you start running long races like 500 miles your Darlington, you want that wheel really close to you.
All over the years. Because I always kept my arms out pretty straight.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Mark Martin has an average finish of 4th in the last 6 races. That's best among all of the drivers. All right, let's go back up front, check on Bill Elliott, see how he's doing. Looks like he's doing just fine. And we'll also check the Busch race recap. Bill has led 125 of the first 201 laps, 7 lead changes, 6 cautions for 37 laps. The average speed close to 120 miles an hour. Those who have picked up 5 bonus points for the race. Bill Elliott has led the most. Also Gordon, Burton, Musgrave, Waltrip, and Bobby
Jeff
Labonte.
Gordon had slowed there all of a sudden coming off turn 4. Don't know if the car got loose with it or what happened. Dale Jarrett made up about 3 car lengths on it, went by, and here comes the 99 car. Jerry?
Ned, you're exactly right. Just a moment ago, the radio told Bill Elliott, hey, don't worry about the 24 car. It's about now he's going to start getting loose. And about that time, Jeff Gordon told Ray Evernham, it is really getting loose. And Ray said, you know what it is? It's that right rear tire we're heating up. That's why it's going to be hard to hang on, particularly down in turns 1 and 2.
So just like clockwork, huh? It goes away.
That right rear tire heats up, it'll make her loose.
Check the speeds at the line. Remember, about 10 laps ago, he was the fastest for several consecutive laps.
That might be why that he got loose on it.
You can see he slowed down almost 2 miles per hour slower than the leader and 2.5 miles per hour slower than Dale Jarrett and Jeff Burton.
I'd have been putting a little bit too much on that right rear tire, keeping up with those fast speeds. Bill Elliott's smooth out there. He's taking care of those tires.
Well, we were interrupted there for good reason with our Busch race recap, so let's go back to it and check a car that is off of the track behind the wall with the work being done on it. And here is a list of the drivers and cars that have officially dropped out of competition. Those 5 plus these 5. So that's the situation. Jeff Gordon still very much in the hunt, although he's lost a few positions here recently. Dale Earnhardt was taken to the hospital earlier in the race. We'll have more on that when we come back to Darlington.
Track looks clear over there. That's a little bit better. I still think we can be tighter.
You want to wait a little bit, though? Not give up all the track position right now?
Unless Elliott comes in, right?
You only run 3 laps, bud. You're doing good. We'll keep working on that thing, trying to get it better. I mean, you know, right now we need to rubber it. That's what we're going to end up having to do with it, Jeff. But you're doing good. Main thing you got to do is keep that thing out of position so it don't get in trouble.
Ray Evernham telling Jeff Gordon, you're doing a great job. Keep calm, keep collected. We'll have a caution flag in just a moment, and we'll adjust on this thing. And it needs the rubber. I don't know which spring, but it needs rubber. And guess what, folks?
The caution just came out.
Don't you love it when plans come together?
Isn't that something? Jimmy Spencer, the reason for the caution. It's the 7th one of the afternoon, and it comes out on lap 211.
And the leaders do come down pit road. Jeff Burton, one of the first to reach his pit stop, and Terry Labonte right behind him. This will be 4 tires and fuel, and everyone will get their windshield cleaned and the front grill cleaned as well to help any potential overheating problems go away. Jerry Punch.
Bill Elliott was a little bit tight, but told the guys, leave it alone, don't make any adjustments, just change 4 tires. Meanwhile, the car number 24, Jeff Gordon, Ray Evernham said we're going to take a partial rubber out of the right front and put a full rubber in. They have the right front tire off to DuPont Chevrolet. They're taking a partial rubber out, putting a full rubber in. The 94 car is down on the way, the 6 car down on the way, the 74 car still sitting off pit road. They finally get the rubber in, and now the right front tire back on. They will pull the jack, and somewhere on the left side, John Gordon is down and away.
So he gives up a lot of traction out there, but the main thing is to get the car handling.
Well, now there are only 10 cars on the lead lap, Bob, so it's not nearly as bad as it would if there were a lot more cars on the lead lap.
And if he waited another to the next pit stop, right, and then to make that change, then he'd have to fight. He wouldn't have that many laps to fight his way back through. So I think that was very wise to do it now, so that he still has about 150 laps to fight his way back to the front.
Watching him go down the backstretch and into the third turn.
I'm sure he'll come back in, change those left sides.
Yep. Yes, indeed, he is. Ray looks toward turn number 4 and sees Jeff coming off the racetrack and down pit road once again to get the lefts changed. Jerry?
And of course, they had warned Jeff that there might be some moisture in the 28 pit. With this heat, that moisture has been long gone and dried up. Now they have made the adjustment on the right front with the partial rubber out and the full rubber in. It will bring the DuPont Chevrolet back down pit road for left side tires. Jack going underneath that big dollar sign. Just right below right above the Jack stop. Left front tire, left rear tire on. He puts it in gear and pulls away.
Well, as he goes out now, he'll be in 10th place. Bob, we talked about having a lot of time, guys. Look at that.
That's behind us, and I couldn't see it, but boy.
He might not have as much time as we thought.
Yep.
If that cloud comes over the racetrack, that looks mean.
It sure does. Jerry, you have more?
Well, NASCAR just reported to some of the teams that they looked at the radar and rain is 20 miles out. They said rain 20 miles out. They're not sure if it's going to come this way. Remember, yesterday it rained very profusely in downtown Florence, but did not rain here until late in the afternoon. In fact, it rained about 2 hours there before it rained here. So we'll wait and see if the rains will come. Meanwhile, we're under caution here at the 48th running of the Mountain Dew Southern 500.
We have received an update on the Dale Earnhardt situation. Now, Mike Dillon is driving his car. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch for the update.
Well, Bob, it is very good news, at least what we've heard so far. Dale Earnhardt was taken into Florence to McLeod Regional Medical Center, where he underwent CAT scans, computerized scans of the head, neck, chest, and abdomen. And all those scans, we are being told, are negative at this point. He is awake and responsive and alert and undergoing further tests, but at least those tests that we're concerned about right there, the CAT scan of the head and chest and abdomen, are negative, and that's great news. Let's check in over with John Kernan.
Well, a disappointing end to the day for Jimmy Spencer when he got into the wall up there, broke the brake rotor, and now they're having to replace the whole right front wheel assembly. And Jimmy, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. You know, I just really feel bad for my Camel team. You know, we had a heck of a race car. We didn't qualify nowhere near where we needed to, and got us on the back straightaway. We played catch up all day. We kept catching up. Finally, that wall caught us, and I don't know what was up there. I don't know really what happened, but, you know, I was driving a race car, so I got to take the blame for it simply because I had a good enough car to win the race, and I should have probably been a little more patient at the time. Thought I was as good as I needed to be, and this place will grab you in a heartbeat. I want to thank the Lord I'm all right. I hope Dale Earnhardt's all right. I want to say good luck to Gary Scelzi and Whit Bazemore in the Winston Invitational tomorrow up at IRP.
All right, Jimmy Spencer. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, all day long, Buddy Parrott has been coaching Jeff Burton to take it easy, be patient, be patient. He's just told him, if you can get to the lead, take it, because the weather is in the area. That word's going up and down pit road. And Buddy also threw in, you remember what Darrell Waltrip did? The rain and Darrell Waltrip kept Davey Allison from $1 million. Dr. Punch.
Here's the t-shirt all the Elliott crew are wearing beneath their fire suits today. It says there's only $1 million bill. They're very proud that Bill's the only guy ever to win $1 million here at Darlington, and today they want to keep it that way.
As we go back to green, Bill Elliott is in front, and Bill has won all 3 Darlington races that he has led 100 laps or more, and he has led 138 so far today.
Well, he got himself a good jump. Dale Jarrett was hoping to get by leg speed before they got off the turn 2. He couldn't do it, and Elvis got himself a nice big.
Here comes Terry Labonte and Jeff Burton right behind Dale Jarrett.
And Jarrett now alongside leg speed. He does take that spot away. It's not for position, but position on the racetrack. So now he can see Bill Elliott. He can set his sights on him.
Burton to the inside of Labonte and going to third.
Remember, Jeff Burton has been fast all day long.
Jeff Burton is back in 8th position now after that lengthy pit stop.
Right now, I think the car is trying to push a little bit. That rubber in the right front trying to push a little bit more. He's used to it, doesn't it? It'll take him a lap or two to get acclimated to the new suspension.
Jeff Burton tries to get by Lake Speed. 19th position.
Now Labonte goes to the inside of Lake Speed, and here comes Hut Strickland. Let's check the speeds of the line.
Wow, look at Dale Jarrett, 163 miles per hour that time.
And Jeff Gordon back in the traffic is at 160 and a half.
Jeff Gordon is called Mark Martin. Points leader, the guy in second place, number 6 in the points going in this race. And here goes Jeff Gordon, right by Mark Martin.
Back behind the main grandstand at turns 1 and 2. So his mission is to get to the front as quickly as possible.
And that time, Jeff Burton was the fastest car, a little bit faster than the front two. Here comes Gordon down to the inside of Kenny Slater.
Those cars have run together a lot this weekend. Peter moves up and lets Gordon down. He's running there in that group. He's only a lap down in 12th position. Not a bad run for Kenny, who was the pole sitter at Bristol last week. And now Dale Jarrett is right up on Bill Elliott.
Check the right side of the windshield. You can barely see out of the right side, but they only clean the part in front of the driver. They don't ever clean this right side. They're not worried about us being able to see it. All they're worried about is the driver being able to see it.
You better look at that right side. You better know it.
If he does, he's in trouble.
Yeah. I don't think Jarrett's been up today, has he, Bob?
Nope, our 6 leaders have been Elliott, Gordon, Jeff Burton, Ted Musgrave, Bobby Labonte, and Michael Walter. We have an AutoZone on-track interval here, laps 217 to 221, showing the interval between the leader Elliott and 7th place Jeff Gordon, and it's expanding.
Well, it's getting larger because Gordon is caught back in traffic. He has nothing for him except later. Jeff Gordon has to try to fight his way through, just like Ted Musgrave, trying to pass Musgrave going down to turn 1. Can't quite do it.
Musgrave is in 6th position. Gordon is in 7th.
Michael Walker right in front of this group.
Then if that cloud cover comes over, which is already moving in down to turn 1 and 2, that's going to tighten the racetrack up. And the move that Ray Evans and them made might not work in their favor. If the racetrack gets cooler, if the temperatures gets cooler, then we'll tighten the racetrack up and maybe hurt him. Now he's moving into 6th place.
Just past Ted Musgrave, going into 6th. Right ahead of him is Michael Walter, who's in 5th position.
Michael Walker looks back at Jeff Gordon as he closes in right on the back bumper. Jeff Gordon, folks, in case you've been under a rock, he is going for $1 million bonus if he can win this race.
Down to Jerry Punch in the Jeff Gordon pit.
Ray, you made an adjustment on the car, which apparently has made the car better, but the weather is moving in. Do you have enough time?
Car's not good enough. I got a feeling the weather's going to go by us, so we'll see. We're going to have to work on the car just a little bit more. We need to make another couple stops, Jerry. Hopefully we'll get it.
You know, it's a special day. You want to win the million, but you also got a special assistant crew chief here today.
That's right, Andrew Jackson is on the pit box. He was the inspiration for a 10,000-person bone marrow drive in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we're real proud to have him on board here with us, and hopefully it'll inspire a lot more people. I want people to see those people that are waiting for bone marrow transplants are not statistics. They're names and faces, just like Andrew. And Andrew's waiting for a bone marrow transplant.
That is 14-year-old Andrew Jackson. You're looking at it right there. And what an exhibit of courage he is. 10,000 people signed up in Fayetteville because of this young man's courage. He has the exact same leukemia that has afflicted Rick Hendrick, CML, chronic myelogenous leukemia. This young man hopes to someday have a bone marrow match and maybe be a professional baseball player. Well, we got to tell you, folks, they are in desperate need of minorities to step forward and be bone marrow donors.
Barry Bonds, the baseball player for the San Francisco Giants, is making a plea for African Americans to go out and be a bone marrow donor because he has a young man that mirrors Andrew Jackson. A young man, 15 years old, wants to be a baseball player. Barry Bonds met him, fell in love with him. He went down, became a donor, and he's urging all African Americans to go by. Folks, I met Andrew Jackson. Trust me, that is a young man worth saving.
Well, every leukemia patient is worth saving, that's for sure. But indeed, a special young man down there in the here this afternoon. Well, the wind is picking up. Ray says he thinks the weather is going to blow by, huh? I hope he's right. I hope we don't have to interrupt this thing because of weather, but it isn't looking very promising in back of the main grandstand here, and the temperature is also dropping, we understand. So that's going to maybe affect a lot of people's handling here as the race goes along. At the moment, it is Bill Elliott leading the Mountain Dew Southern 500 by just a couple of car lengths over Dale Jarrett. Southern 500 at the conclusion of 235 out of the 367 laps. Dale Jarrett right there behind him, about 4 or 5 car lengths. The most laps that Elliott has ever led in a single Darlington race was 154 in the 1988 Southern 500, and he is about to lead his 158th lap. So in many ways, it's a banner day for Bill Elliott.
Looks like the Bill Elliott of old. He has been good right from the get-go.
On NASCAR Today this afternoon, he told Dave Mustaine that they're trying something new on this car. He hoped it worked. It looks like it's working.
I'm sure that's something in the chassis setup maybe that they hadn't used before. How about it, Jerry Punch?
Ned, you and Benny are exactly right. Mike Beam, the crew chief, told me this chassis right here, something that came and tested with last week, is something radically different. He said it is not a Hopkins, it is not a Laughlin, it is not anybody else's chassis. It's sort of a start out, something they've changed and they have found. And Mike said, I can tell you who built the chassis, but then I'd have to shoot you.
It is working for Bill Elliott as we take a look at him and his 2 closest pursuers from the Pennzoil Copter Can. And it's up there flying around in some pretty stiff wind and maybe with some rain nearby, but nevertheless, it's hanging in there and giving us some good pictures. Well, there have been 3 drivers who have won the 3 of 4 Crown Jewel races. Leroy Yarborough in 1969, David Pearson in 76, and Bill Elliott in 85. But the program didn't start until 1985, and so Bill is the only one who picked up the Winston Million bonus. And Jeff Gordon continues to come to the front. He's about to take 4th place from Terry Labonte, his teammate. And for the past few laps, his has been the fastest car on the racetrack.
And maybe we said that maybe that adjustment work that the racetrack in its entirety now is under a cloud cover. Maybe that is helping them. Maybe they didn't get as much as they needed to tighten it up, and the clouds are helping them. Who knows? Looks like it's running good.
He's got a lot of racetrack though between himself and his next opponent, which would be the 3rd place car of Jeff Burton. In fact, there's almost a little over 8 seconds.
You'll see this time by if Jeff Burton is able to run as fast as the leader, just about as fast as the race. He had lost a little momentum as he passed Labonte off the corner, so this should be a good indication of how fast his car is versus those 3 Fords up front. That time he was the second fastest to Bill Elliott, but Elliott, the leader, was a little bit quicker.
He's about 8.7 seconds behind Bill Elliott. Jeff Gordon is. We'll check and see if he picks up any of that this time by.
Once again, Elliott faster than the other two cars. Here comes Gordon, but he's in traffic, so that will slow his car down. You can see just catching cars in the wrong spot, and you can see he lost 2 miles per hour.
Now, however, he has some clean racetrack ahead of him. A lot of it, as a matter of fact. Full straightaway.
In front of Elliott. And there comes Jeff Gordon. As you said, a lot of racetrack in front.
Terry Labonte, Michael Walker, and Mark Martin are running nose to tail on the racetrack, and they are in 5th, 6th, and 7th position.
And all those loose race cars, you're right. I think those loose race cars of this cloud cover is getting faster. Michael Walker is high on the racetrack. Mark Martin race car turns and gets alongside Michael.
Can he make the pass? Yep.
Mark into 6th now as you watch the rest of the Napa Field summary and where everybody is running out there.
In parentheses on the right of their name is where the driver started.
Jimmy Spencer, by the way, is back in the race after repairs behind the wall. Mike Dillon is running the Dale Earnhardt car and is 82 laps back in 35th.
Spencer is 25 laps down, being shown in 3rd position.
Strange thing happened to Dale Earnhardt on the first lap of the race. He hit the wall and was several laps before he came in. When he did, as Mike Martin takes away the 5th position from Terry Labonte. He was carried to the infield care center with oxygen on his face and then transferred to the hospital where tests so far have been negative. Boy, those dark clouds are back there, but it hadn't rained yet.
And I hope it doesn't.
So do I. Still got 121 laps to go. In the last 6 races, Mark Martin has earned the most points and has had the best average finish of 4th.
And that has moved him into the points lead coming into this race.
And not only earned the most points, but substantially the most points.
The CART PPG IndyCar World Series rolls on at Vancouver this afternoon. The Molson Indy Vancouver, where Alex Zanardi could wrap up the championship. It's coming up right after our coverage of the 48th running of the Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington.
Welcome back to Darlington. The leaders on pit road, Bill Elliott, Dale Jarrett, and Jeff Burton, all here for 4 tires, fuel, get the windshield clean, get the grill clean. 251 laps in the book. You're watching the leaders on pit road under caution. Jerry Punch.
Elliott, Jarrett, and Burton, you're watching all 3 cars change tires left side now going on Bill Elliott's car. No chassis adjustment. They were very concerned. Now he is down and away. And Gordon going to take 1 round out of the right rear. Gordon's car now down and away as we see lightning flashing off of turn 1.
And so the weather continues to move in on pit road. Jeff Gordon moved up a position ahead of the 99.
And every car on the lead lap stopped. Often some, especially Ricky Rudd, the last one on the lead lap might have stayed out there in case it rained and the race not restart. But every car stopped.
We are under caution because Kenny Wallace got up into the wall down in turn number 1. He shedded the right front tire and has also got a lot of other damage to the car. And then, as he was driving around the racetrack, we had another incident.
There's Derek Cope in the Skittles car number 36 comes up on Kenny. They make contact, and here comes the leader, Bill Elliott. He had to take his evasive action there. He could drive by both of them.
Derek Cope was trying to get a lap back because right now the caution is already waving. Cope trying to get a lap back, and there we see the contact between the two cars. Elliott goes by, but Cope did beat Elliott back to the start-finish line and got one of his 2 laps back.
Yeah. Derek Cope is now 1 lap down in 17th position. So the caution is out here at Darlington. Back with more of the Southern 500 in a moment.
Jeff Gordon back on pit road. They're going to pull the full rubber out of the right front and put a half a rubber back in. They've also put a half a round out of the right rear. And a moment ago, they came in and took the left rear tire off and pulled the pin to disconnect the rear sway bar. They're trying to make adjustments so Gordon has at least a shot to try to somehow catch Elliott. The car now down off the jacks as he moves back down pit road. Whether it's happening here, a lot of people talking about there's the full rubber they just took out of the right front. They put a half a rubber back in. And, of course, they have made some serious adjustments. A lot of concern, though, over whether will the race move in. Excuse me. They'll pick up a million. We'll find out in a moment.
Next time around, we'll be going back to Green Flag Racing here in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Join ESPN tomorrow at 7:30 for NFL Prime Monday, as we'll have 90 minutes of the most informative news, results, and injury reports from Week 1 of the NFL season. And then switch over to ABC for Monday Night Football, live at 9 o'clock, with a game featuring the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers.
The Bears versus the Packers.
The Bears, that's right. Well, there have been several drivers who have won 2 Southern 500s in a row, including Jeff Gordon. Some of the other great names in stock car racing are above him: Herb Thomas and Bobby Allison, Yarborough Pearson, and Earnhardt. And now Jeff today, in addition to going for the $1 million bonus, goes for his 3rd straight Southern 500. Right now he's back in 10th position. Impressive total of laps led on tracks of 1 mile or more. Coming into this event, he had led 1,360 circuits. We'll be right back. Back in Darlington, South Carolina, Jeff Burton has gone into 2nd position, putting Bill Elliott back to 3rd. The lead continues to be held by Dale Jarrett. Well, NASCAR Online at www.nascar.com features chats. Each week, NASCAR hosts admittedly chats with NASCAR's top drivers. Tuesday, you can ask questions of your favorite Winston Cup driver. Wednesday, it's the NASCAR Busch Series and Craftsman Truck Series. NASCAR Online at www.nascar.com. Coming up next, will Alex Zanardi clinch the PPG Kart Championship for 1997? They're racing at the Molson Indy Vancouver, and it's coming up after the conclusion of our coverage of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. And we have 102 laps to go.
So they'll have to make at least one more pit stop.
Mark Martin and the pole sitter Bobby Labonte are battling for 5th position, and right behind Bobby is Terry Labonte. And here comes Jeff Gordon. Has passed Ted Musgrave and gone into 8th spot, so he's picked up 2 since we went green.
He dropped almost 2 seconds behind. The set of tires that he's got on now is not working as well, and I would predict since his car has gotten a little tight.
There goes Jeff Gordon to the inside of the 8 car, driven by Hudson, just 2 laps down in 19th. Hutt was, however, in the lead lap for a long time. He's having another good run here at Darlington, not nearly as good as he has had in the past.
Ball from the spin out there in turn 1, I believe, earlier today. Someone got into someone else, and a couple cars started up.
He finished second here a year ago. There's Bobby Labonte picking up the spot from Mark Martin, going to 5th.
Up front. Goes again. Ever so close. If you watch this battle for the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Here's Terry Labonte diving over the corner, and is he going to? Yeah, he passes Mark Martin, so that puts Terry in 6th spot.
We're back at Darlington under caution for a crash in turn 4. The 88, 99, and 24 on your screen. Dale Jarrett and Jeff Gordon are both happy with their car. They will simply take 4 tires and fuel, then head back out onto the racetrack. Weather is threatening. Pit stop's going quick for Jerry Bunch.
And they really want to get Jeff Gordon out of the hurry. 4 tires, 1 can of fuel from the 88 down pit road, 21 to 24, 17.5 seconds. And the 24 car just missed Bill Elliott as he's pulling out of his pit.
Wow. And look at Michael Walter, the Shedco car.
Great pit stop for the Wood brothers. Got out in 2nd place.
Here is the reason we are under caution. Lake Speed, Ted Musgrave, turn 4.
Come off the corner, and Musgrave gets awfully high, but unfortunately not high enough because Lake Speed gets to the left rear, and around goes the 16 car, and Ricky Rudd comes along. He gets, Jeremy Mayfield hits the 9, the 9 hits Ricky Rudd, and the 16 hits the wall. Is that about the way it was, Ned?
That's the way it was to me. Okay, here it is again. Musgrave up high. Looks like his car might slip a little bit. Well, it does there, certainly. Once the 9 car touches it, don't know if it slipped before that or not. And here comes Ricky Rudd trying to dive to the inside. But the 37, as you said, clips the 9, and the 9 clips the 10.
So the rear bumper is torn off of Ricky Rudd's car. And the caution waves once again here at Darlington. And as a result of the pit stops, we see Jarrett, Michael Waltrip, and Jeff Gordon the top 3, and the shot from the Pennzoil copter cam still up in the air despite some bad weather that they say is not too far away from the racetrack. Back at Darlington, and we remain under caution here in the Southern 500 because of an accident. Well, a couple of pit stops ago, we documented that Jeff Gordon still was having handling problems, and there was a lot of question marks and a lot of decisions to be made. This is how they reached their decision as we take a look again at a NASCAR Spotlight.
Still, that right rear, or at least the rear tires, just do not want to grip coming off too.
I'm with you, bud. You just keep doing the best you can, please. We got some more adjustments if we get a chance to make them.
Some loose down in 1 and 2, like right in the middle. But, I mean, I would like to take some of that front spring rubber out of it if we could, do something in the rear.
Well done. Let's go. We're going to pull the left rear wheel off and pull the pin on the sway bar. Pull the pin on the sway bar. He's coming on pit road. Pull the left rear off, pull the pin on the sway bar.
I was already closed up. You should have called me a lot earlier.
He's closed up. We're going to pull that full out. We're going to put a half back in. I want to put take one round out of the right rear. Andy, have you got somebody to do that one round out of the right rear? Okay, you go up behind the 10 car. You know, we're back behind all the lead lap cars. Ain't no big deal.
Well, they keep working. I admire these guys. They keep working and working and working, trying to make that car as fast as anybody there. Bill Weber?
Another team that's been working hard today, especially on pit road, the Citgo crew. Michael Waltrip has had some excellent pit stops. One that was 18.10, but the last two, 17.41, and this most recent one, 17.22. Now, his car is better after they run 10 laps. Green about to come out. Watch the 21 car behind DJ.
Green flag comes out on lap 279. Michael Waltrip trying to get back on track. He has posted 7 straight finishes of 22nd or more. And if the points were awarded right now, look at the tightness. Jeff Gordon with a 15-point margin on Mark Martin as they would change positions. And looks like Jeff Gordon had a notion there. Inside of Michael Waltrip coming down the front straightaway.
Michael Waltrip very high now through the corner, leaving it open for Jeff Gordon. He's going to take advantage of it and take that second spot. And that crowd is up and on, cheering, and I guess I'm doing race.
Now Jeff Gordon moves to second position and is about a half second away from Dale Jarrett as the drama continues here at Darlington.
Was he close to that wall up in 3 and 4 or what? Elliott goes by Michael Waltrip, goes in the third spot. And then maybe he's got a better set of tires on this time that matches up better.
Yeah, he got hurt on that last run, Bill Elliott did. He's had a fast race car all day long. Let's see what this set does.
Faster than the leader, but unfortunately he's in the same spot.
And so the drama is not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. We have 281 laps completed out of 367, and Jeff Gordon is back in second position, just a little less than a second behind the leader, Dale Jarrett. Back in a moment. It's Labor Day weekend in Darlington, South Carolina, and Jeff Gordon, who is running second in the race, is going for $1 million here this afternoon. And the CART PPG Championship is up for grabs in the Molson Indy Vancouver. That's coming up next here on ESPN after the conclusion of the coverage of our event. Jeff Gordon now at about 0.7 of a second behind Dale Jarrett.
He's been gaining on Dale Jarrett. That time high, Dale Jarrett gained just a little bit on Jeff Gordon.
Exactly. For the last 5 laps, they've averaged out about the same.
They don't have any time to get ahead of him for a long, long time, so you're going to have to worry about that. Let's take a look at the interval leaderboard and show you who the fastest is on the racetrack.
Jeff Gordon. A little bit faster than Dale Jarrett. Also the 99 car. About the same speed, just a little bit slower than.
Jeff Gordon had the fastest lap at over 161 miles an hour. Here is Jeff Burton coming up on Elliott. Elliott, by the way, has clinched the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps here today. He led 180.
Faster than Dale Jarrett. Jeff Gordon, folks, if he can keep it off the wall, he'll be okay. He is using every inch of the race. Look how close he comes to that wall. In the middle of the corner, he's right underneath that wall.
And here is Jeff Jeff Burton taking over third spot from Bill Elliott.
Watch Jeff Gordon as he goes in the corner, lets the car drift right up against the wall. Right against that wall. Now it come back off. That's a good run off the turn.
But that time, Jarrett was the fastest.
Watch Jarrett as he goes to Russell Gordon as he goes up right against the wall in the middle of the corner.
He's trying to find a spot, just, you know, within 6 inches of what he's been running that might let him go just a little bit faster.
He's searching for a faster way around this racetrack, something he hasn't. And look at Jarrett that time. He goes high. Gordon up high. These guys trying to find, as you said, Ned, that magic spot that'll let them pick up 1/10 of a second per lap.
There's 3/4 of a second back now.
Well, as Benny said, he's driving his heart out, and he's certainly going to be using those tires up.
NASCAR schedule, and there are reports of raindrops falling on the racetrack. Well, we may see a little bit of moisture on the windshield, just a little bit there at the bottom. That time, Jeff Gordon had the fastest lap. Jarrett was second, and Burton third, and that allowed Jeff to close in just a little bit. So we'll continue to track the activity here at Darlington with 75 laps to go. Jeff Gordon still in the hunt for the Winston Million, but he's second to Dale Jarrett at the moment. And we're under caution once again here at Darlington, this time because of rain. Not a great deal, but enough to bring out the caution flag. And quite frankly, everybody was quite surprised when those on the lead lap came in for pit stops. Coming out with the lead, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, I was totally surprised that they would come in because the caution is for weather.
See, Ray Evernham talking to his driver, telling him, here's the caution flag, there's the pace car, pit road is open. Here comes Gordon. Dale Jarrett stays on the racetrack, and then all of a sudden he turns left.
Well, he was not going to stop, and boy, that cost him a lot right there. He was fortunate to be able to come back out in second place.
Down to his assigned pit. The crews went to work. And here's how it went.
In the middle is Bill Elliott. Elliott is working on something on the right rear. You see Jarrett gets pissed off completely about the same time Jeff Gordon did. But Bill Elliott will go back to 8th spot. He spent a lot of time working on something in the right rear.
And he's come back in the pits since then. He's back out. He's back in, John. Let's go to the pits. John Kernan.
Yeah, they're putting tape on the grill. It also looks like something, a piece of debris, has gone to the right portion of the grill, and we don't know if it got into the radiator or not, but at least the mesh right there is exposed. It's open, so it looks like Elliott had some contact also on the left lower. Let's go up to Jerry Punch.
Well, what a time for the Rainbow Warriors to pull off their second best stop of the day. Jeff Gordon's crew, led by that man right there, Ray Evernham, 17.66 seconds, 4 tires, and 1 round in the right rear. And they have been celebrating here ever since, jumping up and down, high-fiving, smiling. You'd think they just might have won $1 million. How about it, Bill Weber?
Well, Jerry, that entrance to pit road was unorthodox because Dale Jarrett was going to stay out. They told him to stay out, and he said, but everybody else is coming in. So Jarrett came in too. The only problem was he'd already given up some precious pit road track position before they made that final decision.
We still have a long way to go there. There are 70 laps left in this race, so let's not draw any conclusions yet. Here once again is the entrance to pit road that Dale Jarrett had. Wow. So Jeff Gordon comes out with the lead now as we await the return of racing, but right now we're under caution due to
If you ever watch a Jeff Gordon pit stop, wondering whether they're putting the wedge in or out of the car, it's a very simple way to figure it out. They've got color-coded wrenches now. This ivory-colored wrench, ivory starts with an I. They use this ivory-colored or white one for in. They use the orange one, which starts with an O. Orange is out. So the orange means they're taking wedge out. The ivory one, they're putting wedge in. So if they have a wrench over the wall and a crew member in a fluster of trying to get things done, forgets which way he's going, he realizes, hey, I got ivory. I must be putting wedge in the car, so he'll turn it in the right direction.
How about that? Yeah, good job, Buck. And, ladies and gentlemen, evidently whatever rain was in the area is gone because the signal is going out. One more lap.
Lights went out on top of the pace car. We didn't have very much rain at all, just a few sprinkles, but it was enough to bring out the caution. But now we are set to go back to competition with Jeff Gordon in the lead, and there will be about 65 laps to go when the green comes out.
Which they could make it from here on the pit stop as far as fuel is concerned. Back early in the race when we ran green flag, they ran up to about 68, 70 laps.
Boy, those tires, will they be slipping and sliding at the end of these 65 laps.
You're right about that.
Gordon is the leader. Ray Evernham and the Rainbow Warriors have guided him throughout the afternoon into the front spot. Dale Jarrett and Terry Labonte are going to be lined up right behind him. Then Mark Martin and Jeff Burton.
Ricky Rudd is still in the lead lap in 6th. Michael Waltrip 7th. Bobby Labonte 8th. And Bill Elliott 9th. Those are the 9 cars that are on the lead lap.
Running in 10th position, the car up there beside Jeff Gordon is Jeff Bodine.
Start up that tight.
Car of Derek Coke is in the 11th position. Okay.
Green, green, green. Green, green.
Back there in 4th place, coming up on Terry Labonte now.
said last lap he brushed the wall. He brushed the wall. He asked the spotters the next time by, see if I got something rubbing over there. He just yelled the wall. That's all he said with the right rear. That fender is very, very close in the right rear.
You're right, yes, you can see the damage on the right side of the Chevrolet. And through those turns, that thing's smoking, and boy.
Dale Jarrett was faster that lap than Jeff Gordon, but the fastest lap.
You wondered if Jeff Gordon could drive the way he was driving for the last 50 laps. Off the wall, because folks, he was using every inch of the racetrack. You see Evernham talked about the car.
Now, does it rub enough that it might cut a tire? That's a big concern. We still got that championship to think about.
We've seen some smoke coming from the right side of that car. Didn't see any that lap, but I think it's pretty definite that it is rubbing. Gary?
What you just saw Ray Evernham tell his driver was that the spotters are saying you're getting a little bit of rub through turns 3 and 4. Otherwise, it looks to be okay. We're going to keep a watch on it, and we'll keep you posted, Jeffrey. You're doing a great job.
In any case, Dale Jarrett is closing in. A lead that was 0.4 of a second for Jeff Gordon is now down to 0.2 of a second.
And Jeff Burton is closing in on both of them. He was about 2.5 seconds behind. He's only 1.8 behind now.
Wow, right against that fence. That wall doesn't do that boy, does it? I'm telling you.
Let's take a look at the replay.
That's coming off the turn 2.
More than a brush, that was a hit.
See Burton closing in. Once again, he's right up against that fence, so close. Folks, I'm telling you, the kid is trying so hard to stay in front. He's caught up in the moment, too. He knows what this is all about. It's $1 million, but it's not much for the million. It's the trophy on the mountain case.
Jeff Gordon leads the Mountain Dew Southern 500 with 50 laps to go. If he can hold on, he'll win $1 million. Stay with us. The interval between first and second continues to shrink. The shot from the Pennzoil Copter Cam will show you that what was a 0.3 of a second lead is now down to 0.2 of a second as Jarrett chases Gordon for the win here in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. We might mention that if Jeff Gordon wins the $1 million, if he wins this race, he will also go back in the point lead and would win another $30,000.
As for the Winston bonus, it's up $10,000 in every race, and if the driver wins the race and is the points leader, he collects that and rolls over from one race to the other. So what you're saying is this is the third race since it was won.
Yep. And Mark Martin, who came into this race as the points leader, is back in 5th position.
But Benny, I think he's having to be very careful not to overuse those tires. This race stands a good chance of going green the rest of the way. And if it does, those tires are going to be worn out. They're going to be slipping and sliding. And whoever takes care of his tires the best is going to be in the best position in the race. Jeff Burton is closing in. He's just a little over a second behind. And when we started this, he was almost 3 seconds behind.
While we watch this battle, you got a shot of Joe Niemann. Joe has been nominated for second quarter NMPA Spirit. Speaking of the NMPA, there were 3 drivers inducted into the Hall of Fame Jack Ingram, Bobby Baker, and congratulations to those drivers and their families on their induction to the Hall of Fame. And of course, Ned and Benny are both members of that Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's a great affair, and it's such a good organization and a real honor to be an NMPA member. And also, we learned last night, our condolences to also a member of the National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame. His son passed away yesterday morning. Raymond, however, didn't make the banquet last night.
Boy, Jeff Burton is really closing in, isn't he?
Since he got close enough here before, he sniffed that lead there, and he's moving in fast.
What Jeff Gordon needs is he needs for the 99 and 88 to race for about the next 30 laps and use their tires up while he sits out front and cruises.
Wiping sweat. Crew chief for Dale Jarrett. Ray Evernham. Pretty cool. He's been cool all afternoon. Guiding Jeff along.
Yes, sir. He was pretty cool.
And when the 99 pulled up behind him, it looked like he started getting the 88 a little bit loose. Probably Jeff Gordon pulling out a couple more car lengths.
Yep, I think you're right. That happens.
In the last 14 races, Jeff Burton has scored 10 top 10s. He's fifth in points coming in.
Had a great race run there. The 99 exact car we're talking about, and he has done a great job driving it.
Winner yesterday in the Busch Series race.
I'm impressed that Jeff Burton's tires are still as good as they are, as hard as he has run. He's been running almost a mile an hour faster than Gordon and Jarrett, been catching them, and he's still maintaining a good pace.
40 laps to go. $1 million still on the line.
20 minutes, $1 million.
Will it happen?
He's in the right position.
And more exciting auto racing coming out. Finish with this one. The CART PPG Series is in Molson, the Molson Indy Vancouver, and Alex Zanardi is going for the championship in that event. But Al Unser Jr. would like to pull out a win. Paul Tracy, Jimmy Vasser, Bobby Rahal starting second today. All those drivers trying to prevent Alex from winning the title so that he can go to their next race at Laguna Seca.
First three cars, 4/10 of a second between the first three. Jeff Gordon, you're right along with Dale Jarrett in the Ford Quality Care car, and Jeff Burton is third.
Last lap, the fastest car in the field, but by just a week of
Maybe none of them have shown their hand. Jeff Burton has shown his hand in running them down, but maybe he's sitting there cooling those tires now, and I had a feeling that Jarrett was doing that all along, but who knows, Jeff Gordon might be doing the same thing. As long as they're not pressured for the lead, will he just sit there and take it and not abuse his tires either?
That's 7 leaders, 9 lead changes. Bill Elliott has led the most laps and has led 3 different times. Jeff has led 2 different times. And Mark Martin and Terry Labonte are battling for the 4th position.
Terry Curtin in 4th, Martin in 5th. You know, he got a great pretty good then. You can see the Martin's tire Gordon is hanging right in there in the 6th position.
About guys. You see pit stops?
Oh, yeah. They got to come in and get on some new tires.
I believe they will come in. I believe they will change tires. And who will win the race off pit road? The winner off pit road might be the winner of the race. Here they come.
This is the 11th caution of the afternoon, and indeed the first 3, 4, 5, the cars on the lead lap are coming in. Bill Weber.
Dale Jarrett had told his car is better than he was showing. Maybe just a tick tight, but he thinks he could have gotten by Jeff Gordon. Right now, all the leaders on pit road. Jarrett, the 2488-99 on your screen. Jarrett getting right side tires. Will get fuel. But there's also in getting the right side tires. Gordon in his pit as well. They swing around to the left side on these cars. Very much.
4 tires on the Jeff Gordon to pull the right rear fender out. No fuel in the car. Dale Jarrett in the middle getting left side tires. Jeff Gordon bottom of the screen. Jarrett is rolling. Gordon goes down. Now Gordon is out of the way. The 99 car comes down as they will all head back to turn 1 into St. Louis.
Well, as far as those first two are concerned, Jeff Burton, I believe, lost a little bit on that because Terry Labonte beat him out.
Yeah, he lost about 3 or 4 positions.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, Terry Labonte beat him out. So did Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin.
Bill Elliott beat him out of the pits.
Yep. Well, the Rainbow Warriors are huddling now and discussing the strategy here in the late going. Okay, let's go back to turn number 4 here a few laps ago and watch this incident involving Ward Burton and the leaders.
And they're just driving into a cloud of smoke. They all turn left because they don't see any smoke down there and barely get by Ward Burton. Wow.
From another angle.
See there, Dale Jarrett slows down, almost gets hit in the back by Jeff Burton as he apparently saw what was happening up there, and he slowed down. And he and Jeff Gordon go to the left, and Jeff Burton stays back there and goes high.
Let's ride along with Jeff Gordon and see what he sees, which is about nothing.
He saw absolutely nothing.
Contact between the 99 and 88. Listen. Wow.
A hard-stopping moment here in the late stages of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Remember, coming up next, the PPG kart race, the Molson Indy Vancouver. We were supposed to be off the air at this time, but we got a few more laps to run. The PPG kart race is coming up at the conclusion of our telecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mountain Dew Southern 500 here at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina, and we're about to go back to green. We will next time around. Here's the situation. 336 of 367 laps have been completed, and we are about to go back to green with Jeff Gordon, the leader of the race, followed by Dale Jarrett, Terry Labonte, Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, Jeff Burton, Michael Waltrip, and Bobby Labonte. Those 9 cars on the lead lap.
The concern I think that Jeff Gordon and that crew has now, they did not work on the right rear quarter panel, the right rear fender that we saw smoking when he brushed over the wall earlier. Well, now he has those new tires on. He's going to be really going to that corner. Extreme pressure on that tire. The car will go down. The body will drift down. It may rub that right rear tire. We'll have to check and see.
Let's go down to Bill Weber.
Well, the 99 crew is very, very proud of their pit stops, but they've had a disappointing day. On this most recent stop, they had gotten a set of tires from the 12 car, and because those tires had better codes, they thought it'd be a better match. They were going to put those on the 99 car. When they went to put them on, the lug nuts were not tightly glued to the new wheels. They fell off. A lengthy pit stop. They lost valuable track position. Jerry Punch.
Rick Hendrick, Jeff Gordon's car owner, is watching from his home in Charlotte, fighting leukemia. But Rick is able to talk to the drivers and the crew, but he hasn't said a thing all day until just now. As Jeff left pit road, Rick got on the radio and said, I believe, Jeff, that we can do it.
Okay, they are under green.
stop as they made. They didn't have time to pull that good rock. But they know that as they run a few laps, as we discussed earlier, that's perhaps
Jeff Burton to the inside of Bill Elliott, looking for 5th position. Once again, Jeff Burton marches toward the front. He lost positions there on that pit stop, but now climbs back toward the top.
He's about 3.5 seconds behind the leader.
It looks to me like that Jeff Gordon is stretching it out just a little bit.
This is what happens every time that Jeff Gordon jumps out for those first 4 or 5 laps. And then after that, they run about the same. And then the 88 car starts gaining back. But we talked about 2 cars that's been a big lead. Bob, is that what you're talking about?
That's right. It is. It has been for the last few minutes. It's a huge lead. Here's Bobby Labonte passing Michael Waltrip and going in 8th. Kart race coming up right after the conclusion of this one.
Michael Waltrip back in 9th spot.
There is the interval between 1st and 2nd.
He's stretching it out now, Bob. I think he's got a 2.5 car length advantage.
It's growing.
But what Jeff Gordon would like to do is keep Dale Jarrett from moving right up on his bumper and making his Chevrolet loose. So that 2 or 2.5 car lengths looms large.
24 laps to go. Summary is in. Ken Schrader with a top 10 going. Here's Burton again, taking 4th from Ricky Rudd.
Man, he's got a good race first. This is a very, very tough racetrack to negotiate around. It's hard to find yourself. With all the cars on the racetrack, it becomes almost impossible to do.
These drivers have been out here for over 4 hours. You know they're getting tired. But they got to muster up enough strength to complete this thing.
When they come around, there'll be 22 laps to go. Here's Jerry Punch.
Well, the most valuable bottle of the Gordon pit is not fuel, it is antacid. This little bottle of Rolaids being passed around among the Rainbow Warriors. You think there isn't pressure down here and stress, knowing that within a little over 20 laps, they may have a shot at $1 million. They're thinking about it and talking about it.
And Dale Jarrett now mounts a charge and comes up right on the back bumper of the 24 car of Jeff Gordon.
That's why you move up as close as you can and try to loosen the back end of that Chevrolet up.
Warren Burton picks up another spot. He's now up to 3rd, or Jeff Burton. Last lap, Jarrett was faster than Gordon, but Burton was faster than everybody.
16 seconds behind now. Clear sailing between he and the leaders, but he only has 20 laps.
I think Jarrett made a run at Jeff Gordon. But he didn't. I'm going to sit back and relax and let my tires cool off for a couple laps, and then I'll make another run. I want Jeff Gordon to catch him before he makes his most concentrated run at Jeff Gordon. If Jeff Gordon were to catch him, as we saw the last time, it's going to slow him down just a little bit.
The points were awarded now. Jeff Gordon would have an advantage on Mark Martin as the two would once again switch positions at the top. You see that Jeff Burton was the fastest
has slowed dramatically on the racetrack. Darrell not having one of his runs. 22nd place, a couple laps down, but he's coming very slow off turn 4 right now. There's the leader should go by.
Last time Darrell Waltrip was in victory lane was here in 92.
Jeff Burton still the fastest car, little Dale Jarrett. Now faster than the leader, Jeff Gordon.
And Bill Elliott continues to run well.
Bill's car just doesn't seem to have worked as well as it did. Well, when that sun was shining, he was tough.
Entire different groove down in 3 and 4 around the bottom of the racetrack. Jeff Gordon running high all the way around. And low. Let's that DuPont Chevy drift up right against the wall. He'll keep it up there. Now he'll turn left and bring it down off turn 2.
Right there's his strength coming off that turn 2. You see how much he picked up coming off that turn? Chevrolet turning down there and accelerating.
Todd and Bradbury, Todd on the left, Bradbury and Green on the right. GD, I guess.
Ray Abraham continues to communicate with Jeff Gordon. That team. And look at this. Race cars all over the place. Bobby Labonte taking away a spot from Mark Martin. And the pole sitter Labonte is in 7th. Mark Martin back to 8th. The Unical bonus money will undoubtedly move up another $7,600. Coming into this race, it was $91,200. The amount that Bobby Labonte would have won had he been able to win here this afternoon. Bill Elliott and Terry Labonte are side by side.
And give it to Elliott. Almost a full corner behind Jeff Burton.
13 and a half laps to go. Wow. Getting down to it. $1 million is hanging out there waiting for Jeff Gordon to claim it. But it's miles away right now.
Andrew Jackson, assistant crew chief today, watches Jeff Gordon go by. Young man looking for a bone marrow donor. Has leukemia.
Nice looking young man.
Laps to go.
Jeff Gordon finished 3rd in the spring race here. Then Dale Jarrett won. Warren Burton slow around the bottom of the racetrack.
I think the engine's dead on the car. Saw a light on the instrument panel as he rode by. Like the engine was not good in his car.
Jeff Burton has slowed down to about 2 seconds now, these guys, but does he have enough time to catch him and pass him?
Great race cars, 2 drivers, 2 great teams. You throw Jeff Burton and you can make 3.
Folks, don't go away. We've got 10 laps to go, and then we'll take you to Vancouver shortly thereafter for the PPG race. But this man, Jeff Gordon, has $1 million on the line. The Winston Million has only been won once, back in 1995 by Bill Elliott. The very first year it was on.
All right, Dale Jarrett did. He's going to give his all right now. Time to go, he's going to go.
Yep, it's time to go now. You don't save those tires any longer. If you got anything left, you gotta put it on. Jeff Gordon might be saying the same thing. Okay, he's got to go because Jeff Burton still continues to gain on him.
His driver, Dale Jarrett, coaching him along.
This race is 367 laps. They have run 358 and a half laps. It's that close.
Look, it's not going to be long till that 99 is coming in that picture. Look at there. He is definitely on the move. He's running 159 miles an hour, running 157 miles an hour.
He's within a second of Jeff Gordon. A little less than Jarrett, and that's maybe what Jeff Gordon needs.
Well, Walker getting the black flag, but he's staying down out of the way.
Traffic could play a hand in who wins this thing.
And there's some going into turn 3 now as they come off of turn 4. They'll catch it before this race is over.
The Molson Indy Vancouver Kart PPG race coming up next here on ESPN. On the line there.
Moves over, lets the 3 cars go by. Did not impede their progress whatsoever. Boy, Jeff Burton, what a run he has had today.
Oh, man. Come from far back and run this time. Ooh, Gordon slipped a little bit off the turn that time. Jarrett runs right up on him.
And Gordon slides up behind the racetrack again. Let's see what Dale does here coming off the 4th corner onto the straightaway. No movement. But now there are 5 laps to go. 5 to go with the Southern 500. Gordon is the leader and will win $1 million if he wins it.
Oh, Jarrett slipped a little bit that time.
But Jeff Gordon is having a little bit of trouble coming right as he comes off of turn 2. Before that was his strong point. Now it seems to be a weak point for him. But as long as they don't slip a little bit, we'll hurt him too bad.
4 to go.
Sitting down.
And I'll bet there are millions of race fans out there standing in their living rooms right now waiting to see if Gordon is indeed going to do it.
Jeff Burton sitting there saying, boy, if I could get by that 88 car, I could catch him. I know I could. Because I run him down.
Here he comes. Burton to the inside of Jarrett. He's got to run off the corner.
But that 36 won't spoil his effort. Jarrett will have to back off and let Burton go.
Jeff Burton is in the 2nd position. There are less than 3 laps to go, but the interval now that Jeff Gordon has, the lead that he has grown just a little bit.
Yeah, that pass let him pick up about 5 cars.
The crowd looks on.
He's going to make up the board. How many more laps?
2 to go. 2 more laps to go.
I don't believe he can catch him and pass him. He might catch him, but I don't believe he can pass him. Boy, he's gained. He picked up a bunch that time coming off at turn 2.
Looked like Jeff Gordon had to get off the throttle that time off 2 for some reason.
And Burton closes in. How much is $1 million? Well, 1,000 times 1,000. Or perhaps you can better understand in these terms.
Here he goes. Look here. Oh, they make contact.
Oh, and they're in contact. They go down into the corner side by side. And Jeff Gordon holds off the challenge. This is the last lap of the race, folks. They're onto the backstretch, and Gordon lengthens his lead just a little bit. He lengthens it out as Jeff Burton and Dale Jarrett drop back just a little bit. Here he comes off of the 4th corner. Jeff Burton will make a challenge off the corner onto the straightaway. But Jeff Gordon wins it. If you will be paid $1 million, John Kernan.
Ray Abraham, you guys refused to lose, and you guys won $1 million.
Yeah, you know, that just shows this team. I'm very fortunate to be part of it. I want to thank God because we had an awful lot of help today, and you know, I don't know what to say. I'm stunned. I'm very fortunate to be part of this team. These guys work hard. They work together. They make great suggestions. You know, certainly, you know, it's something that we can look back on. Jeff Gordon's a great driver, but this is a great race team.
And not only the Winston Million bonus, but the only driver to win 4 straight Mountain West Southern 500s.
That was Rick Hendrick. Did you hear Rick Hendrick tell him? Good job.
If you were repeating $1 for every hour you're alive, you would have to live more than 114 years to accumulate $1 million. And although those achievements can't be measured by numbers alone, today numbers are important.
Jeff doesn't know where victory lane is.
For only the second time in 12 years, a milestone reached. Jeff Gordon adds another accomplishment to his already impressive record. He captures 3 of NASCAR's 4 crown jewel events in 1997 and wins the Winston Million. In just 147 starts, he has moved from 8th to 6th on the all-time earnings list and could become NASCAR's first $6 million man in 1997.
He's not happy, is he? Let me get out of his car. Somebody break his car up. Let me go ahead and high five everybody.
And our coverage documented, I think, quite well how he and Ray and everybody else worked and worked and worked throughout the race. Finally got it right, and he won it.
And the Brinks truck is running him down.
Saying, I got $1 million here for you, Jeff.
Well, that's an awesome thing. There's the Brinks truck, all the money. Running him down.
There it goes.
Throwing the money up in the air. That's right.
Quite a moment for young Jeff Gordon, who has had so many emotional moments during the years. This certainly has to be another one. Right at the top of the list. A Daytona 500 win, a Brickyard 400 win, 3 Southern 500 wins, a NASCAR Winston Cup championship. The crew heads to Victory Lane. That's where the check to Jeff Gordon will be presented. There's Brooke.
Still throwing money out the truck.
That last lap was something, wasn't it?
Hurry up, get to Victory Lane. About 400,000 on the way.
Yes, it is. This is a moment in racing history right here. The car has made it to Victory Lane.
RJR.
They've been wanting to stay out that movie.
A great day for Jeff Gordon, for NASCAR, for all the fans gathered here in South Carolina. And Jeff Gordon is back in the points lead also over Mark Martin by 25. Here's our McDonald's drive-through winner circle interview with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Hey, T-Lane Robertson and Jeff Gordon and Brooke. Let's get over. Jeff, you are the man, the $1 million man. Congratulations.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. I should have never won that race, Jerry, but oh my goodness, good Lord was looking over us. Man, what a team. What a team, man. These guys were busting off some great pit stops. And if I hadn't been out front, I don't think we could have won it. But I want to thank God for the ability and just showing this team and myself never to give up, and that it could be our day, and it was. And I want to thank DuPont Automotive Finishes and Chevrolet. What a great car. Goodyear tires, boy, they hung in there for us, and Quaker State, of course, Pepsi. And of course, RJ Reynolds, boy, I tell you what, I got to thank them for this $1 million. I'm blown away. I should have never won that race, Jerry. I really shouldn't have, and I didn't think I was going to. But I did tell you earlier in the week, if it came down that last lap, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get back there.
What about the last lap? They're stacking the money behind you, so you got plenty of time. They got a Megan to stack in behind you on the car. That final lap, you and Jeff Burton, it got awfully close.
You know, my car picked up a really, really bad push. I thought maybe I could hold him off for 3 laps, but all of a sudden when I come down to take the white flag, the right front just went away on me. I didn't know if I had a fender rubbing or what.
and I saw him coming, and I blocked him. He hit me in the rear bumper, and I was just glad that I didn't spin. I kept it going, and that slowed his momentum down enough to where I could block him. I'm sure he's not happy, but Jeff, $1 million. Come on, buddy. What'd you expect me to do, man?
Hey, we heard your car owner tell you on that last restart, Rick Hendrick from home, he said, I believe, Jeff, I believe you can do it.
Was that Rick? I don't think that was Rick. I think that was just a voice that sounded like Rick. But I hope he's watching. We love you, buddy. And, man, this is so awesome. And you don't know this yet, but Ray Evernham and I talked earlier. $100,000 of this is going to go to the Bone Marrow Foundation for the Leukemia Society. We got Jonathan here in our pit today. He needs a bone marrow transplant. We're looking for a match. And the least we can do is at least give $100,000 to the Bone Marrow Foundation. Thank you.
All right, Jeff Gordon, the American dream. He had $1 million date, and for the second time in the 13-year history of the Winston Million here at the track Too Tough to Tame, a driver collects it. What a job by Jeff Gordon.
He led 116 laps here this afternoon, and he led the one most important, the final one. And so Jeff Gordon writes his name in the history books as the second driver to ever win the Winston Million, and it came in 1997. Here are the unofficial results. The yellow arrows indicate those who led a lap. Elliott picked up the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. 9 cars were on the lead lap when the checkered flag fell.
And Schrader, Chad Little had a good run there today. Look back through the field there where your favorite driver might have finished.
We see the 3-car back there. Earnhardt fell out of the race basically on the second lap. He was going to finish 43rd, but Mike Dillon got in the car and picked up 13 spots.
Good effort. There were quite a few cars that were out of the race at the end. Here's the check presentation to Jeff.
Randy, I got to thank R.J. Reynolds and Winston Tobacco and for everything that they do for Winston Cup racing. And I tell you, I'm gonna have to have him come back more often. Andy, you're gonna have to come to every race from now on. Give away some more money, but this is just an incredible, unbelievable day. I really never thought anybody could ever win this million again, let alone 3 Southern 500s in a row. That is awesome. I want to thank Mountain Dew and Pepsi for putting this great event on. And I tell you what, I'm just, oh my, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Go back to the race. Here are the points now as we head for Richmond. Jeff Gordon on top by 25. Jarrett is third, then Labonte Burton, Bobby Labonte, Bill Elliott, Ricky Rudd, and Ted Musgrave. The top 10 will be in Richmond next Saturday night. Coming up next, the Molson Indy Vancouver, and a possibility of Alex Zanardi winning the title for 1997. Jeff Gordon has won $1 million here by winning his 3rd straight Southern 500 at Darlington, South Carolina. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.